16th Street. Enjoy popular local brewed beers like Barrio Blonde, Hipster Hazy IPA, and Barrio Rojo, along with seasonal favorites Peach Ale and Senor Sour. Try the Carny Fries on Barrio's new happy hour menu, Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. Food and beer available for dine-in or to-go. Event space rental is also available. Check out their entire beer and food menu, along with a great selection of cool merchandise online at barriobrewing.com. The friendly employee owners of Barrio Brewing Company look forward to seeing you soon.
And this Friday, we've got a sweet deal for you from Barrio Brewing Company. You can get a $50 gift certificate for just $25. And this sweet deal will go on sale this Friday morning at 8:30 at WildcatsRadio1290.com.
Your home for in-depth conversation.
Nothing they do is by surprise. They telegraph what they want to do, and then they brag about it afterwards. It's a way to keep us at each other's throats.
The most pressing issues.
This was just a white-on-black crime, and you can already see the narrative starting to form in real time.
And fresh perspective.
The air marshals will not be on the airplanes because they're down at the border escorting illegal aliens to their Ubers.
America's most loved truth tellers live on Tucson's home for conservative talk. This is Freedom 1400. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. You're listening to the home of the best coverage of your Phoenix Suns and the NBA. This is Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
From the what? Central Northwest Tucson. Duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names, David Scott Kelly.
Going for it right here. You want Philly? Yeah, let's do it.
Foles in the gun. Clement to his right.
Easy.
Foles moves to the right. It goes directly to Clement. Clement reverses it, and the pass goes into the end zone. And it is a touchdown by Nick Foles.
One of the greatest plays in NFL Super Bowl history. Philly special. The signature play in the signature game of the 11-year career of Nick Foles, who retired today from the National Football League. He did not play last year. Last year that he actually played in the NFL was 2022. He did not play last year, did not get in any camps this year, and made it official that he is retiring from the game of football. We will let you hear Nick's full retirement statement coming up as well. What a career. What a career for Nick Foles, the lone quarterback from the University of Arizona to take significant snaps in the National Football League and made the most of his career, made the most of his time at that level, was one of those guys that just was perfect off the bench because he was so even-keeled, whether he was a starter, whether he was a backup coming in, and that's essentially how that whole thing unraveled in Philadelphia that year, him coming in and as the backup to lead that team to the Super Bowl and the title over the New England Patriots. I like to call him one of my near originals because he dates back to my early years here covering this program. 2009, which was my second season here, 2010 and 2011. And obviously the 2010 year, which got off to such a great start, 7-1 out the gate before everything kind of unraveled. So the last portion of his U of A career was filled with a lot of losses, but still one of the most revered players to wear the University of Arizona uniform for the simple fact that before Nick Foles, I think only one guy, one Arizona Wildcat grad, had actually ever dressed and gotten on the field in an NFL game. the premier position in the game of football. And Nick Foles went to the National Football League and helped put Arizona on the map with his play in that league. So we will salute Nick Foles today. We want to hear your memories on Nick, whether it's Nick as a player here at the University of Arizona, whether it was Nick during his time with the teams he played with in the National Football League, the Eagles, the Jaguars, the Rams, the Chiefs, the Bears at the end, the Colts. If you have memories of him with any of those with any of those teams, we want to hear those as well today. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Day 7 for Arizona football, the current group. Did not get a chance. This is the first practice I did not get a chance to attend. We had some internal meetings here as we rev up for our coverage of Arizona football this fall. So not able to get out to practice today, but it sounds like Tetro McMillan did a little bit more. Yesterday, he was primarily just in individual drills. Apparently, he did participate in team activities today. And when we say team, that's 7-on-7, 11-on-11 competitions. So again, continuing to take steps back is Tetro McMillan, and that is good to see. The fellows will be on the field tomorrow night, a night practice scheduled at Arizona Stadium. So get on over there and see the guys. They might potentially do some scrimmaging. They don't really practice on Saturdays anymore. Saturdays is kind of the off day. Sunday is the day they go, but they were in the stadium last Friday. They'll be in the stadium again this Friday. So you might have a chance to see some scrimmaging under the lights tomorrow night if you head out to Arizona Stadium. The Olympics. Wow. How about the United States men's basketball team? J-Dub, we said yesterday, any game involving Nikola Jokic is going to be a problem. And that game was a problem today.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the only guy that Serbia had, it would be a problem. But they got a couple other guys who have been playing out of their minds. We know Bogdanovic. Everybody's seen him play quite a bit in the NBA. But yeah, DK, it was a struggle. Steph Curry hasn't been playing very well. I mean, let me rephrase this. Steph Curry's been playing great, hasn't shot up to the level that we've seen Steph Curry shoot in his career up to this point. He had 5 threes in the first quarter, DK, of this game. Finished 1 point short of the all-time record for Team USA basketball in the Olympics. But they went into that fourth with a 13-point deficit. Down 13 to start the fourth quarter. And we got some highlights of that fourth quarter because it was a who's who. There's a whole bunch of guys who contributed to them coming back. Really, really fun to watch. I had to pull you into the studio to watch the end there because they were down, I think, they're down 4 with about 2 minutes to go. It was a real huge flurry by the USA down the stretch. They did pull out the victory in another semi-upset. Germany was the world champions 2 years ago in the FIBA World Cup. They lost today to the home country, France. So a lot of people wanted to see what Victor Wembanyama and Rudy Gobert et al. Can do. Fournier is also on that team. Well, it looks like that's going to be the team USA is matching up with in the gold medal game.
That is going to be fun to see. The United States versus the home French. Can't imagine what that crowd is going to be like for that game. When is that? I don't even know when
it's
that
on
is.
Saturday.
Is that Saturday?
About 12:30 local time.
Okay.
The gold medal game and the bronze is earlier than that as well.
All right,
so both bronze and gold will be on Saturday.
I'm about to talk about some more Olympic stuff, so if you don't want to know about that, then you might want to turn the channel right now. But the United States men's basketball team wins. Noah Lyles gets a medal with COVID, goes out there and wins a medal with COVID today. Not a gold medal, but he did win a medal. Did Noah Lyles. So congratulations to him. A lot of good stuff happening at the Olympics, and, of course, we'll keep you updated on all of that as we go today. Again, the number to get on the program, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Again, 36 points today for Steph Curry. And now they get the French Jordan Childs announced today that she's going to return to UCLA, the gold medal gymnast. So we don't have to worry about her anymore, though, because Arizona and UCLA are no longer in the same conference. So that's probably a good thing for the University of Arizona. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone did what she does. She just won another gold medal in the 400-meter hurdles. I'm not going to beat her. Not going to beat her. She ran away from Femke Bol. That was one of the most anticipated battles. Femke did get a medal, but it wasn't silver. She ended up with bronze as the Americans took 1-2 in that event. So the Americans continue to lead the gold medal count, the medal count overall. One of my favorite ex-Indians is now the manager of the White Sox, Grady Sizemore.
Good luck.
How about that? I didn't even know. I guess I totally lost track of Grady. I didn't even know he was on that staff. But, yes, the White Sox, who ended their long losing streak, have fired their manager, Pedro Grifol. No surprise there. We had talked about that earlier in the week, that was probably going to happen. And now Grady Sizemore, who I've always said Grady Sizemore's career, Grady Sizemore played so hard. And there's guys out there that play this game at 100 miles per hour, and sometimes it can be to their detriment to play the game at 100 miles an hour, and Grady Sizemore was one of those guys. I can remember Grady Sizemore played at a time when I was doing talk shows in Cleveland, and people used to always get upset with me because I would say the last thing I want to see is Grady Sizemore running into walls, Grady Sizemore throwing his body onto the field to try to make a catch in the outfield, because eventually that's what derailed his career. He was a guy that just didn't have that let up in him.
So you must have grown up watching a lot of Pete Rose
probably,
videos, huh?
Probably. People used to call up on the shows I did a lot of weekend talk radio. People would call up and say, "How can you tell a professional athlete not to die for baseball?" Well, because I want Grady Sizemore in the lineup for 150 games. That's why I'm telling him not to dive for a ball in a meaningless game in July when your team is up 6 runs. You don't need to try to go catch that. You don't need to throw your ball onto the ground, throw your body onto the ground to try to catch that. Just let it drop. Let it drop. That was the one thing about Albert Bell. And I'm sure every team has their guys and whatnot, but Albert Bell understood his importance to the team. And that importance was for Albert Bell to be in the lineup in that number 4 hole every single day, every single game. That was the importance he had to that team. And Grady was the same way, but Albert would never threw his body onto the ground to try to catch a baseball. Never. Because he said, you know why? Because I got to be in the lineup tomorrow batting 4th so I can drive in runs. But Grady was the exact opposite of that. He would throw his body all over the place. And eventually, that's going to end you on the DL, because it was called the DL back in the day, not the IL. And eventually, if you go to the DL enough times, your career is going to be greatly shortened.
And that's super exaggerated by his early days, right? Because looking at his stats in Cleveland, his second year as a 22-year-old DK, 158 games.
Yeah.
Third year as a 23-year-old, 162 games. Fourth year as a 24-year-old, 162 games.
Yeah.
So he did not miss a single game over the 2006 and 2007 season. Played in every single game. 157 as a 25-year-old, and then after that, really nothing over 100.
No. They loved the ladies. The ladies loved Grady Sizemore in Cleveland.
Is that right?
Absolutely loved him. He had his own section in the outfield. They called themselves Grady's Ladies, a sisterhood. They would come to the games. They would make up T-shirts. It was like nothing I have ever seen for a singular player.
Grady's wife or girlfriend feel about that?
I don't think he was married at the time. I'm sure he probably had a girlfriend. I don't think Grady wasn't like a lot of those guys from some of those teams that, how do I say it nicely,
was a friendly guy.
Find themselves around town a lot.
Sure.
He wasn't that guy. Grady was not that guy.
You could just make a Wilt Chamberlain reference. I think everybody would understand.
Yeah, there you go. Grady had nothing he had no Wilt Chamberlain in his bones.
Gotcha.
In that respect.
But he did have a section.
Yes, he did. He had a very big section of ladies that would come out religiously every night to watch him play.
I like the fact that he's young, 42 years old. I like the fact that you talk about him being a grinder.
Yeah.
A lot of guys who are like that, who play with that level of effort, maybe don't have that native skill set within them, so they have to go the extra mile, little shorter, maybe not quite the foot speed, and so they make up for that with their effort, right? And I think that translates really well to teaching and managing, because you can always overcome your physical limitations. Maybe you don't quite have the height or bat speed or whatever, but if you hustle out that single, that can lead to wins. So translating that and the fact that he's a younger manager can relate to the player. So I think that's a good hire for the White Sox.
Another guy I talk about in that respect is my guy Skip Schumacher down with the Marlins. Same exact type of player as Grady Sizemore. Would run through a wall every night out there. All right. We want to talk to you about Nick Foles and whatever else is on your mind. 520-848-1290. We'll get into some of the highlights from the Olympics today coming up a little bit later. You'll hear from Nick Foles, some of his highlights of his career here at U of A, his career in the National Football League, and a whole lot more. It's DK on the Sports Tip. JW Madden is with me, and Cricket is as well, getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Collisions reported McGee and LaChoya and McGee, and also Tucson and Drexel. Tucson Boulevard to the south of Drexel. Roadwork east and westbound Grant Road west of Dodge Boulevard. Expect occasional slowdowns. And for our weather, there's about a 50% chance of rain today. Storms possible around 5 p.m. 98 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the ultimate playground for online social casino enthusiasts. Get ready to live the Chumba life and play over 100 online casino-style games for free at ChumbaCasino.com. VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen here. Tune in each weekday from noon to 3 p.m. for the Rich Eisen Show right here on Tucson's home of Arizona Wildcats football.
Touchdown, Arizona!
And the National Football League. Wildcats Radio 1290.
My helmet saved me after they crashed into my motorcycle, but I still couldn't ride for weeks. The insurance company tried hammering me into a quick settlement. No way. I gave them the bird, the eagle. Goldberg and Osborne. Nobody knows Arizona like the eagle. Phoenix to Tucson, Flagstaff to Havasu, and every bit of blacktop in between. Wherever you go, the eagle is there. So if you've been injured, don't wait. Give the insurance company the bird.
Give them the bird. Call the Eagle. Goldberg and Osborne. 1-800-THE-EAGLE.
In a world of chaos and high inflation, where savings are rare.
Just a minute, ladies and gentlemen. I think something is happening.
There's only one place that can save you up to 40% off your favorite tobacco products. Tobacco Barn. Tobacco Barn. In a quest to unlock the key to savings, Tobacco Barn embarks upon the ultimate adventure to charge no city or state sales tax because they're on the reservation, and to save up to $3 off with a coupon at tobaccobarntucson.com.
This is not a joke.
When savings are stolen by the evil of other high-priced tobacco stores, there's only one powerful enough to resist city and state sales taxes, plus save you up to $3 with a coupon at tobaccobarntucson.com. Tobacco Barn. Tobacco Barn. Hooray! And if all else fails, we can always call upon...
I'm Captain Tobacco, at your service.
My hero.
Tobacco Barn, Tucson's most epic adventure in savings. Now showing at Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
What's with the earmuffs, Gary?
Holy cannoli. I just got back from a house with the loudest AC I've ever heard.
In other words, it wasn't installed right.
It must have been installed upside down for all that noise.
If you want the air conditioner built for Arizona heat, get the super quiet Grizzly from Alaskan AC.
If your air conditioner sounds like...
It could sound like...
We stop vibrations so your AC runs smooth and cool.
People all over Arizona are singing about the Grizzly.
If you want the air conditioner built for Arizona heat, get the super quiet Grizzly from Alaskan AC.
From Arizona Stadium, McHale Center, and High Corbin Field, make sure to like us on Facebook at Wildcats 1290. This is the exclusive home of Arizona Athletics. Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is Jim Rome with your Rome Report. Memo to the rest of the track and field world. No lead is safe right now against Team USA. Just ask Noah Lyles, or better yet, ask Quincy Hall. I know I've been saying that Noah Lyles is the best thing about the Olympics thus far, but I might have to rethink that after my man Q had that outrageous run. You want to talk about a kick. You want to talk about a closing speed. You want to talk about grit. Then you want to talk about our dude Q. I'm telling you, and you've probably seen this, but our guy looked dead on the turn. But then again, if you thought that, then you do not know Quincy freaking Hall. What a finish. It almost looked like an optical illusion the way this guy was striding out and inhaling immense real estate. It looks AI generated. We talked about AI Al Michaels. This is the AI 400 meter dash. Get in on the summer's biggest moments with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code ROME, R-O-M-E, for a first deposit match of up to $100. That's code ROME for a first deposit match of up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. You do have to be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
O'Reilly. You've got questions? O'Reilly Auto Parts has answers. Need a pro you can trust? We've got that too. No matter what you need, our professional parts people have the training and expertise to help you do things right. Deep automotive knowledge. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number for you to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. This is our final show of the week, as we will not have a program tomorrow, but we'll be back with you on Monday for a whole lot more coverage of everything that has to do with Arizona athletics and the world of sports. Again, we're talking a little bit about Nick Foles, who is retiring today, or who has retired today, after 11 seasons playing in the National Football League. I want to talk a little bit more about that Philly special play that they ran in the Super Bowl. Let's hear that call again from the great voice of the Eagles, Merrill Reese.
Going for it right here. You want Philly? Yeah, let's do it.
Foles in the gun. Clement to his right.
Easy.
Foles moves to the right. It goes directly to Clement. Clement reverses it, and the pass goes into the end zone, and it is a touchdown by Nick Foles.
I mean, the thing that I love best about that play was that he walks over to his head coach there and basically like says, Philly, and the coach looked at him like he was astonished. Like he was the look on his face was that of astonishment, like, oh, yeah. That's not a bad idea. Let's do that. It was almost like he had another play in his mind, and just Nick coming over and saying, let's run this instead, was just to see his kind of face and the light go on. Yeah, let's do that. Let's run that play. To me, that's the best part of that play there when they ran that against the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl. And I still I tweeted this out earlier in the day. I still kick myself because we had Bill Belichick here a few years ago when the Patriots came to train at the University of Arizona facility. And I wish I would have asked Bill Belichick his thoughts on that play, his reaction, if he realized what was happening. Did he see it? Had they even thought that something like that might be a possibility? Because, I mean, the way that Nick Foles sold that play, first of all, the way Nick Foles got Doug Peterson to buy into it, and then the way he sold it, just, to me, one of the greatest plays. When you think of great plays in the Super Bowl, and I'm talking about going back to, Lynn Swann and making the catch where he comes down on the guy, his knee comes down on the Cowboys' chest. This play is in that vein of great plays in the Super Bowl, and it belongs to one of your Arizona Wildcats in Nick Foles.
I just love the part where, Nick Foles was the last person anybody would expect to win Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
In the league. I mean, he wasn't even a starter up until late in the season, right? Or even the playoffs.
Right.
Andre Iguodala, right, won NBA Finals Most Outstanding Player in one that had Steph and Kyrie and LeBron and all those guys. Just need a World Series MVP, right?
That's all. That's all we need. A World Series MVP.
Some unassuming former Wildcat that nobody would expect to win World Series Most Outstanding Player. It's coming. It's got to come.
You got some guys in there. You got a few guys like, you never know, Austin Wells with the Yankees. I mean, the Yankees are a team that, can routinely get to the World Series. So potentially Austin Wells has a great run in the playoffs, and he becomes an MVP at some point. I want to play here, and Gina, we'll play this from this side over here. I want to play what Nick Foles said today. He put out a social media post announcing his retirement. Let's hear from Nick Foles as he says goodbye to professional football today.
It's crazy to be in this moment, looking at this camera, officially announcing my retirement from the NFL. From the first day I was born, my dad put a football in my hand. He must have known something, because that became a dream of mine since I've been a kid, to play in the NFL, and I will be forever grateful for that. It's been such a special privilege to play for Philadelphia, St. Louis, Kansas City, Jacksonville, Chicago, and Indianapolis. To the fans of the NFL around the world, thank you for making the game so special. Y'all are the ones that bring the energy in the stadiums. Thank you. Specifically, thank you to the Philadelphia Eagles fans. Thank you for all your support from 2012 when I was drafted to 2017 when I came back. You truly made playing in Philadelphia the most special experience in my football career. To all the coaches I had in my career, thank you for everything. Thank you for the correction. Thank you for the teaching. Thank you for the uplifting. Thank you for being there for me throughout my entire career. To my teammates, to that bond we have in the locker room, going to work every day, being on the practice field, being in the weight room, being in the steam room, being in the sauna, having those conversations, that bond that lasts forever. I want to specifically thank Athletes First, Justin Schulman, my agent, and Austin Lyman, my marketing agent. I'm truly grateful for everything. I want to give a special thanks to my wife, Tori. You're the rock of the household. Thank you for guiding our family through the transitions, the conversations we've had before games, week of games. I want to give a special thank you for that. I want to thank my mom and dad. Y'all instilled in me a work ethic that took me to the NFL. The character traits y'all have, the hard work y'all have. Thank you for being that example for me. I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for allowing me to live a childhood dream. I've grown so much in my faith in this time. As I step away from this game, I want to cheer on the next generation of NFL players. Go out there each and every day and give it everything you have. As this chapter closes, another one opens. I'm truly grateful for my time in the NFL. I get to be a husband and a father. I have 3 kids at home that I get to be around all the time. I get to coach their sports, I get to be at their sports, and I also get to help them with homework, get to help them through tantrums, get to be there each and every day. So I'm truly excited for it. This isn't the end. I know I'll see you soon. Thank y'all. It's crazy to be in this moment looking at this.
All right, that is Nick Foles announcing today his retirement from the National Football League. Philadelphia Eagles were the first team that he played with, drafted in the 3rd round of the 2012 draft, spent the first 3 years of his career in Philadelphia playing with Chip Kelly. That did not necessarily go all that well. Then he was in St. Louis for a year, Kansas City for a year, and then came back in that 2017 Super Bowl season. And we mentioned that, again, he was not the starter that year. How many games do you think? How many games did Nick Foles start in the regular season that year that they went to the playoffs? He led them to the playoffs.
Many, like 2 or 3. I mean,
3.
3, yeah.
3 games. 3 games. But he was dynamic in the postseason. He threw 6 touchdown passes to just 1 interception, completing 73% of his passes to lead the Eagles to a Super Bowl championship. The still lone Super Bowl championship in Philadelphia Eagles history.
And knowing those fans, I mean, that dude doesn't have to buy a steak in that town ever again.
He's got a statue.
Yeah. That's the funny thing.
Rocky's got a statue in Philadelphia. Nick Foles has a statue in Philadelphia.
You talk about guys like who bounced around, right? Like after that even, he really struggled maintaining even a starter's role. MVP, think about this. MVP of the Super Bowl struggles finding a team that wants him to be their starter, okay? That's who Nick Foles was for the majority of his NFL career. But you talk about the highest highs. And everybody remembers the 7 touchdowns that he threw, right? Tying that record, 2013 was that? And everybody should remember, Nick Foles is tied also for the NFL record, DK, for most consecutive completions. 25 consecutive completions. So although we all remember the Super Bowl MVP, we all remember him, throwing for 4,000 yards, only U of A quarterback to ever do that here in Tucson. But after he left here and went to the NFL, it's kind of a journeyman to a certain extent. But those highs, most touchdowns ever thrown in a game by an NFL quarterback, he's on that list. Most consecutive completions, Super Bowl MVP, Nick Foles.
He was 10-4 as the starter for the Arizona Wildcats. So he won 10 of his first 14 games before the bottom kind of fell out on the second half of that 2010 season and then the beginning half of that 2011 season when they ended up losing 11 of 13. And it cost Mike Stoops his job. But you mentioned him throwing for 4,000 yards. That was his senior year. In 2011, 4,334 yards he threw for that season, 28 touchdowns to just 14 interceptions. Obviously, that was not a great year record-wise for Arizona in the transition from Mike Stoops. Tim Kish took over. Tim Kish was traveling today. We tried to reach out to him to see if he could be on the show, but he was traveling today. So we will get with Tim next week to get his thoughts on Nick Foles. Kyle Quinn, though, his center, is going to join us a little bit later in the program, and we'll talk to Kyle. Kyle is a part of our game day broadcast team on the network, and so we'll get Kyle's thoughts on having a chance to play with Nick Foles and the trajectory of his career. You mentioned you heard him thank his wife, Tori, a great University of Arizona Wildcat love story. Tori Moore, who was a backup setter for the women's volleyball team here. They met on campus. And
working out at McHale.
Yep, working out at McHale. That's where some of the greatest love stories are formed, and we love to tell them. We love to highlight our Wildcat marriages and whatnot, and Tori Moore and Nick Foles is certainly at the top of the list. Came back last year as an honorary captain before one of the games. I believe it was the opener last year, the home opener, that he came back and was the honorary captain. And we'll hear the interview he did with in-house reporter Mackenzie Hamilton last year. You'll hear that a little bit later in the show as well. Nick Foles retiring today from the National Football League after an illustrious 11-year career that included a Super Bowl championship with the Philadelphia Eagles. We want to take your calls on that. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Also, we'll update you on what's going on with Wilcox Little League. It's still raining. That's essentially the update.
I mean, yesterday
it's still raining in North Carolina.
Yesterday the forecast said 90%, 90%, 90% for the next 4 days. So
still raining in North Carolina. So not much to update there, but we'll at least tell you what's happening. American Legion, Tucson Post 7 is playing in the West Regionals as well. They play tonight after winning yesterday. So we won't obviously have an update on that, but they're looking to stay on the winner side of the bracket there. Also, we've got our first all-conference selections in the Big 12 for soccer and volleyball. We'll dive into that and the difference in scheduling as well that we're going to have in the conference in that respect on both of those sports as well. DK on the sports tip. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Golf Links and Craycroft reported as a stalled vehicle at Craycroft and Golf Links. Collision, McGee and La Cholla and McGee. And some slowdown southbound La Cholla at Ajo and also slowing at Ajo Way and Mission. So the storms are possible today around 5 p.m. and 98 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by ChumbaCasino.com. Introducing Chumba Casino, the thrilling online social casino that's free to play. Head on over to ChumbaCasino.com now to join in on the fun. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Sean Furrier here for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care with an instant savings offer just for radio listeners. So if you need tires, right now is the time to save big on every tire brand and over 25,000 tires. You'll save big with manufacturer's rebates, and radio listeners unlock up to $200 savings on tires when you visit jackfurriers.com/radio. Huge savings on tires just for radio listeners. But you've got to visit jackfurriers.com/radio to unlock this special offer, which saves you more. Who thought you could get paid for listening to the radio? Jack Furrier has tires for your car, truck, 4x4, CUV, SUV, EV, hybrid, trailer, RV, even your wheelbarrow. All 14 of Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care's award-winning locations are standing by and ready to help with the very best prices on affordable tires and no hidden extras. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, we're here to get you there. But make sure to get your extra instant savings at jackfurriers.com/radio.
What's with the earmuffs, Gary?
Holy cannoli. I just got back from a house with the loudest AC I've ever heard.
In other words, it wasn't installed right.
It must have been installed upside down for all that noise.
If you want the air conditioner built for Arizona heat, get the super quiet Grizzly from Alaskan AC.
If your air conditioner sounds like...
It could sound like...
We stop vibrations so your AC runs smooth and cool.
People all over Arizona are singing about the Grizzly.
If you want the air conditioner built for Arizona heat, get the super quiet Grizzly from Alaskan AC.
Shh! Hear that?
I don't hear anything.
That means...
The Grizzly's doing its job, keeping you cool
with barely a purr.
We believe ACs should sound like this.
Because we do things the Alaskan way, not the cheap way.
If you want the air conditioner built for Arizona heat, get the super quiet Grizzly from Alaskan AC.
O'ReillyAuto.com.
For 100 years, O'Reilly Chevrolet has been part of the fabric of Tucson, just as our Chevy trucks are part of the fabric of America. With that in mind, we're proud to announce it's officially truck season. And this year we have Motor Trend's Truck of the Year, the all-new Chevy Colorado. Test drive your new Chevy truck on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or check out our entire lineup at O'Reilly.com. Don't miss truck season, going on now at O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
The light is fading, your hands are sore, and the last tool has been put away. Now is the time to feel the satisfaction that comes with a job well done. But when you get your tools from Harbor Freight, something about the job feels a little different. Your wallet. Because we believe that everyone deserves hardworking tools at hardworking prices. And that's what we have here. So, whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this. If something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
DK on the Sports Tip, 3 to 6 weekdays.
Cricket, did you know that you had a World Cup?
Straight. We're going to have a super over.
Is that like soccer?
I don't understand any of it. I don't understand the terminology. I don't understand. Left-armed seamer, can you believe it or not? He caught a slip.
You don't want to catch a slip.
I don't know what any of those
That's
things
not good at all.
But congrats to the USA for defeating Pakistan.
Yeah, I like the left-hand seamer, though. That sounds like a good thing.
Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is Jim Rome with a Sports Minute. Remember Skinny Lamar? When Lamar Jackson showed up to OTAs and the internet just freaked out because he looked really slim. He leaned out. Well, now we know why. We didn't at that time, but he has since explained to CBS Sports the origin of Skinny Lamar was actually Fat Lamar. His words, not mine. I'm Jim Rome.
One in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
You've got to watch your NFL team every Sunday, and Verizon's got you covered for all your team's out-of-market games every Sunday afternoon.
Come on!
From kickoff to sign-off, from first downs and touchdowns to turnovers and overturned plays.
After review, the pass was incomplete.
Nice! Let's go!
This season, win every Sunday with Verizon. Get a great deal on NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV and a new phone. Excludes digital-only games. Terms and embargoes apply.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Our question of the day today has to do with who else but Nick Foles, who retired as the quarterback in the National Football League. Most recently was with the Indianapolis Colts at the end of his career. Also spent some time with the Chicago Bears there at the end as well. Won a Super Bowl championship for the Philadelphia Eagles in 2017. So the question is, what's your favorite Nick Foles moment as quarterback for the Wildcats?
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet traffic.
Okay, Cricket. Yeah, you just wait your turn. Wait your turn, Cricket. I can only give you, I try to give choices in these polls that we do on Twitter, just because if I don't, most people just won't answer the question. So I try to give you a few, but there's so many you could choose from. Obviously, he was here for 3 seasons. So I gave you the other option if there's another game that you wanted to put on here. But your 3 options that at least that I chose were the 2009 win at USC, which came near the end. It was the final regular season game of the season. He went 22 of 40 in that ball game and threw for 239 yards as the Wildcats went into Southern California and upset the Trojans 21-17. Threw a touchdown with 3:14 to go in the ball game. Beautiful ball down the sideline to Jerron Kreiner. You might remember that game. That is one of the games. So the 2009 win at USC also on the list. The 2009 win at Arizona State, 20-17. Another close game in which the Wildcats had to kind of fend off late as ASU took the lead with 2 minutes and 2 seconds, or tied the game, I should say, with 2 minutes and 2 seconds to go. And Nick Foles drove the team down. Alex Zendejas kicked the game-winning field goal as time expired to give the Wildcats the win. So that game, 2009 at Arizona State. How about 2010? This is actually the only home game in the list that I give you here. That was the game against Iowa. Third game of the season. I mean, I just remember that night as being such a raucous atmosphere at Arizona Stadium. The Wildcats won it 34-27. They jumped out to a 20-point advantage. Foles in that ball game threw just one touchdown. Actually, threw two touchdown passes. Threw a touchdown pass early to David Douglas and one late to William Wright. Do you remember William Wright's nickname?
Yeah, Bug.
Bug. William Bug Wright.
He also ran for a touchdown in that game.
Yes, he did. He ran for a touchdown in...
Foles, not Bug.
Bug. Did Foles... Wait.
Foles ran for a touchdown. Yeah, in that game versus Iowa, yeah.
Okay. And then the last choice is other. So if there's a game that you want that I'm missing here that you...
I got an other for you.
...was better, then we'll take that too.
There was a game, I can't remember the year, but they beat Stanford. And the reason to me I think that's my favorite is because Jim Harbaugh was the coach and Andrew Luck was the quarterback. So everybody remembers Nick Foles winning that MVP. Why? Because it was Tom Brady on the other side, okay? And the amount of success that the Patriots had, maybe not the most memorable as far as what it led to at the end of the season or the rankings, but the fact that Andrew Luck to me was one of the best natural arms I ever saw, and Jim Harbaugh obviously had a lot of success there at Stanford and more recently Michigan. So yeah, I like the fact that he beat Brady in that Super Bowl when they did match up, because if you're gonna win and get the MVP, it might as well be against the best, right?
That's a good one. That's
Harbaugh Luck.
That's another 2009. So a lot of these games are when Foles was a sophomore.
In that game, DK, he completed Foles against Stanford.
Yeah.
40 out of 51 for 415 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions.
Yeah.
And it was a high-scoring game, 43-38.
Andrew Luck threw for 423 yards. Yeah, that was a pretty good game. Wildcats were down 9 going into the fourth quarter. Got big runs in the fourth quarter by Greg Nwoko and Nick Grigsby. Remember what their combined nickname was?
I do, but I don't.
Thunder and Lightning.
That's right, yeah. A lot of Thunder and Lightning.
Greg Nwoko and Nick Grigsby.
Who was the first Thunder and Lightning? Was that Holmes and what's his name from Kansas City?
Oh, yeah, I remember who you're talking about.
Yeah.
What was that big guy's name?
Started with an O, right?
Yeah.
He was like 6'4", 290.
If you're a Chief fan, help us out. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290. I got one response here. Boog checks in. Oh, gosh. He says the 2011 win at ASU where Foles tore his pec. You'll remember he was hurt at the end of that game, and Bryson Burney came in to finish the deal. That was back when we routinely, I don't know if we routinely, but the first 2 years, the first 2 U of A ASU games I covered in Tempe, the Wildcats won both of them in 2009 and 2011. And then they didn't win again until, I think, last season. Yeah, in fact, that was.
Now that
they did not win again until last season.
Now that I'm seeing it, I'm kind of feeling dumb.
What's that?
Christian Okoye.
Christian Okoye.
Yeah, I should have remembered that.
Absolutely. And what was it?
Loved watching him play.
Who was the other guy? Was it Travis? Not Travis Prentice. Was it something Prentice was the other guy? They
had so many guys like Priest Holmes.
Yeah, that's what was it Priest Holmes and Christian Okoye? Were they together?
I think so, yeah. Okay. I think that was around the same time. Anyway.
So give us your game. Give us your game if there's not a game on that list that you thought was better. Right now, early on, the 2000, of course, the 2010 win against Iowa has the early lead over the 2009 victory at Arizona State. Head on over to Twitter right now, @Wildcats1290. What's your favorite Nick Foles moment as quarterback for the Arizona Wildcats? You can vote in our poll. Let's before we're going to jump ahead here. Let's hear some of Nick Foles' highlights as a quarterback here at the University of Arizona.
Touchdown put him back in this game. A little delay on the play fake, and that is a beautifully thrown ball from Foles.
Foles lobs it, got it in the corner, and the field judge says touchdown. Jerron Crowder, his first catch.
5:40 to go here in the first. Foles over the middle, wide open is Curry, touchdown, Arizona.
Foles hits, he throws on second down to the end zone. It is caught for a touchdown. Richard Morrison, the sophomore, makes the grab. Foles in the catch, finally in the end zone. This one goes for 34.
38 on 3rd and 13. Foles once more. Wants it off for Kreiner. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Foles on first down. He's got a man wide open out there. It's Buckner, and Buckner's going to score.
From the 15-yard line. Play action. Foles wants a bunch on first down. Got a man open. Got him. 85 yards. Touchdown, Kreiner. He's going to trot in and hand it to the back judge.
Second down and goal. Foles on a short drop. Fires to the end zone for the touchdown. An extra point away. And for Kreiner, his third touchdown catch of the night.
Foles waiting and now going deep. And got a man. Touchdown. David Roberts. He waited and waited until finally somebody came open, and he threw a perfect strike, 32 yards for the touchdown.
Foles on first and goal. Nick into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. It's Douglas. Fake it to Maluko, and now Foles wanting to hit the home run. Kreiner's out there. Jerron's got it. Touchdown, Arizona.
Nick Foles, some of the great highlights of his time here at the University of Arizona. I wish I really did spend some time looking to see if I could find anything from the radio side that had a Brian Jeffries call on it. I scored through the University of Arizona YouTube, and I could not. We'll continue to look for some of those.
The good news
see if we can find a few.
The good news is that what Nick Foles actually said today is that he's officially retired. He hasn't played a game since January 1st, 2023. But the first home game for the Eagles is when he's going to officially retire. So maybe we can get some kind of highlights, and when that comes back around, we'll have some calls from Mr. Jeffries.
Absolutely, because I'm sure Brian had some great calls on some of those plays that you heard there during the 3-year career, 2009 through 2011, of Nick Foles. 67 career touchdown passes for Nick Foles, 10,068 yards. We'll dive deeper into the numbers as we go on here today, as we talk about Nick Foles retiring from the National Football League. If you want to get in and share your memories, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is that number. We've got 1 hour in the books. Coming up in hour number 2, we'll dive more in. We'll let you hear some of Nick Foles' NFL highlights. We'll let you hear the interview he did with Mackenzie Hamilton, the team reporter for the University of Arizona, when he came back to be the honorary captain for an Arizona Wildcats game last season, what it meant for him and Tori to be back on campus for the first time. I mean, you get guys that come around a lot, and then you get some guys that obviously are playing in the league that don't come around as much. That was the first time he'd been back here since he left.
Well, you heard him say there today in his announcement that he's looking forward to dealing with temper tantrums. So some guys, some people have other life to do.
Right.
Outside of football.
Absolutely. He's got 3 kids now, and great to see him being a dad, and I'm sure whatever he chooses to do from this point out, Nick Foles is going to be extremely successful at it. He's got a great head on his shoulders. I want to say he's got some great hair, because going back and looking at some of those videos from his days here at University of Arizona, man, whoo, boy, his hair after some of those games was kind of scraggly. That was back in the day where we kind of had a little bit more of it wasn't like an open locker room, but they would bring the guys to that one little room underneath the bowels of the stadium, but you'd have maybe 2-3 guys in there, and you could just kind of stand right up next to him and interview him. And some of those, man, his hair was like all over the place. Never challenged a mane there. Did Nick Foles.
We called him Sunshine
back in the day.
Back in those days.
Sunshine.
From Remember the Titans? That quarterback who came in basically had kind of the same hair.
Absolutely. All right, DK on the Sports Tip. JW Madden's here. Cricket is here as well. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Collisions reported McGee and LaChoya and McGee. Also a crash was reported Broadway and Dodge. That might be off on private property. And waterline work continuing Country Club and Glen. Traffic on Country Club north of Glen down to 1 lane and shifted to the west side of the roadway. So storms are pretty possible around 5 this afternoon and 98 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. eBay Motors is here for the ride with the parts you need at the prices you want. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they're guaranteed to fit your ride the first time, every time, or your money back. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2024 Summer Games. Stef Curry said he got lost in the moment. With that, Team USA avoided an upset in the semifinals. Curry pumping in 36 points. He was 9 of 14 from downtown, and the Americans come from behind to beat Serbia 95-91. The U.S. will play host France for gold on Saturday, France knocking off Germany in the other semi. Grant Holloway captures his long-awaited Olympic gold medal in the men's 110-meter hurdles. Holloway from Chesapeake, Virginia, the 3-time reigning world champion, but he was the silver medalist in Tokyo 3 years ago. And the men's beach volleyball final is set. Sweden's David Ammann and Jonathan Helvig sweeping Qatar's Sherquif Yunus and Ahmed Tijan. Ammann and Helvig will face Germany's Niels Ehlers and Clemens Wickler for gold. With this Summer Games update, I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Wellness means something different to each of us. And at Westin Hotels and Resorts, we believe every step is an opportunity to enhance your well-being. Whether it's guided group runs and workout gear on demand, or nourishing food options and restorative rest in our heavenly bed, when you travel, you can find wellness at Westin, one of 30 hotel brands in the Marriott Bonvoy portfolio. Find wellness at Westin.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Granger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgranger.com or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
A hot starting pitcher or the hot offense? Which way do we go? I'm Chris Mack here to help you beat the books with BetQL. In a divisional matchup and with their ace on the mound, the BetQL model likes the Toronto Blue Jays tonight in their matchup against the Baltimore Orioles. The Jays have won 4 straight games started by Kevin Gausman, and BetQL's model has Toronto on the money line as a 5-star best bet. I'm Chris Mack. Bet smarter and beat the books with BetQL. Download the BetMGM app today.
For 100 years, O'Reilly Chevrolet has been part of the fabric of Tucson, just as our Chevy trucks are part of the fabric of America. With that in mind, we're proud to announce it's officially truck season. And this year we have Motor Trend's Truck of the Year, the all-new Chevy Colorado. Test drive your new Chevy truck on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or check out our entire lineup at O'Reilly.com. Don't miss truck season, going on now at O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. The one and only home of Arizona football. Pre- and post-game coverage, play-by-play, and live press conferences. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
From the what?
Central Northwest Tucson. Duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names, David Scott Kelly.
Hour number 2 of the program on this Thursday, final day of the week for us. So Cricket will be along with everything that's happening this weekend as we get our weekend off to a early start. Got to go do that manly medical thing tomorrow. Got to start drinking the scope juice tonight.
Is that the mainly thing, like when Steve Carell got his chest waxed? That kind of stuff?
Not that manly medical thing. No. The one that you do to try to keep yourself alive for as long as possible. So.
Those are always important.
Always important, gentlemen. Make sure you go get your colonoscopies every 4 to 5 years, if necessary, 10 years for some of you. But make sure you're getting that done when you get to be of age. Really, you probably should start. They used to say 50 was the age to start doing that, but really now it's probably even down closer to 45 because you want to make sure that you're healthy and here to celebrate all the things that life has to celebrate. So we always encourage men to make sure that, and women as well, but definitely men from our standpoint, to make sure you're taking care of yourselves and getting all the necessary treatments and whatnot that you need to do and getting those done in a timely fashion. 520-848-1290. We're talking a lot of Nick Foles today. Nick Foles retiring officially from the National Football League. We're going to let you hear once again, if you missed it, what Nick Foles had to say today. He released a video on his social media accounts, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, thanking everyone that was a part of his football life from high school to Michigan State to Arizona to the teams that he played with in the National Football League. Here again was Nick Foles.
Be in this moment, looking at this camera, officially announcing my retirement from the NFL. From the first day I was born, my dad put a football in my hand. He must have known something because that became a dream of mine since I've been a kid to play in the NFL, and I will be forever grateful for that. It's been such a special privilege to play for Philadelphia, St. Louis, Kansas City, Jacksonville, Chicago, and Indianapolis. To the fans of the NFL around the world, thank you for making the game so special. Y'all are the ones that bring the energy in the stadiums. Thank you. Specifically, thank you to the Philadelphia Eagles fans. Thank you for all your support from 2012 when I was drafted to 2017 when I came back. You truly made playing in Philadelphia the most special experience in my football career. To all the coaches I had in my career, thank you for everything. Thank you for the correction. Thank you for the teaching. Thank you for the uplifting. Thank you for being there for me throughout my entire career. To my teammates, to that bond we have in the locker room, going to work every day, being on the practice field, being in the weight room, being in the steam room, being in the sauna, having those conversations, that bond that lasts forever. I want to specifically thank Athletes First, Justin Schulman, my agent, and Austin Lyman, my marketing agent. I'm truly grateful for everything. I want to give a special thanks to my wife, Tori. You're the rock of the household. Thank you for guiding our family through the transitions, the conversations we've had before games, week of games. I want to give a special thank you for that. I want to thank my mom and dad. Y'all instilled in me a work ethic that took me to the NFL. The character traits y'all have, the hard work y'all have. Thank you for being that example for me. I want to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for allowing me to live a childhood dream. I've grown so much in my faith in this time. As I step away from this game, I want to cheer on the next generation of NFL players. Go out there each and every day and give it everything you have. As this chapter closes, another one opens. I'm truly grateful for my time in the NFL. I get to be a husband and a father. I have 3 kids at home that I get to be around all the time. I get to coach their sports, I get to be at their sports, and I also get to help them with homework, get to help them through tantrums, get to be there each and every day. So I'm truly excited for it. This isn't the end. I know I'll see you soon. Thank y'all.
All right, that is, again, Nick Foles, Arizona Wildcat legend. He would go on to say, and again, he's going to officially retire as a member of the Philadelphia Eagles on September the 16th. That will be a game against the Atlanta Falcons. And he went on to say, ending it where it all started, referencing the city of Philadelphia where he began his NFL career, and also the playoff win against Atlanta on January the 13th, 2018, that kind of kick-started that run. That was the first game in that postseason that kick-started that run to the Super Bowl championship. Foles said, I'm incredibly grateful for the opportunity to retire as a Philadelphia Eagle. The city of brotherly love has always felt like home to me as an NFL player. Philadelphia is a city I truly love. It has been an honor to wear the Eagles jersey. Foles, again, did not play in the NFL last season. J-Dub mentioned he was released early in the year, shortly after the season was over in 2023 by the Indianapolis Colts. Passed for 14,227 yards, 82 touchdowns in 71 games. He started 58. Played with the Eagles, the St. Louis Rams, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Chicago Bears, the Indianapolis Colts. Was a Pro Bowler in 2013, however, never started more than 11 games in any of his 11 seasons, finishing with a career record of 29-29 during the regular season, but had some really, really fun times in the playoffs and was the Super Bowl MVP in the Eagles' 41-33 win over the New England Patriots. And you heard at the top of the show the Philly Special, which was the play he called with head coach Doug Peterson to help beat those New England Patriots. Owner Jeffrey Lurie, or chairman of the Philadelphia Eagles, CEO, said Nick Foles always carried himself with the utmost class and integrity, demonstrating through his actions both on and off the field what it meant to be a Philadelphia Eagle. He was the ultimate competitor, an inspiring teammate, a true representative of our city, and, of course, a Super Bowl champion. As important as he was under center, it was his positive demeanor, approachability, and kindness toward others that resonated with everyone and continues to speak to his great character. We congratulate the Foles family on Nick's celebrated career and retirement. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Jada, we'll jump ahead here. I want the folks to hear the speech that he gave after winning that Super Bowl in early 2018 when he was up on the stage and being interviewed by Dan Patrick.
Let's bring in your MVP, Nick Foles. Just another game, right, Nick?
Yeah, just another game. Unbelievable. All glory to God. Obviously, Lily really likes this mic. She has no idea.
It didn't seem like the game, the nerves, the pressure matched up against Brady bothered you. What was going on inside you?
I felt calm. I mean, we have such a great group of guys, such a great coaching staff. We felt confident coming in, and, we just went out there and played football. We've played this game since we were a little kid. We've dreamed about this moment. There's plenty of kids watching this game right now dreaming about this moment. Someday we'll be here. And to be here with my daughter, my wife, my family, my teammates, this city, we're very blessed.
Super Bowl MVP, Nick Foles. Underdogs no more. The Philadelphia Eagles are the Super Bowl champions. Congratulations.
Yeah, I remember that being up on stage with his oldest daughter Lily, and she, like a lot of the babies that are they had those big monster-looking headsets on to drown out the noise.
It's deafening, yeah.
The deafening sounds of cheering fans doesn't create any problems there, but just a great moment for Nick Foles that day to be able to have a chance to raise that Lombardi Trophy and become a Super Bowl MVP.
That game was special in a lot of ways. We heard the touchdown catch. He also threw for 3 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that game, DK, he was the only player in NFL history to pass for 350 yards and 3 touchdowns and catch a touchdown?
Yeah.
Never been done before. Also, first and only fourth quarter touchdown reception in Super Bowl history. That had never happened before. And he's one of 2 players to ever do the 350 and 3 touchdowns in Super Bowl history. Some guy named Brady's the other one. So only he and Tom Brady have ever thrown for 350 or more yards and 3 touchdowns in a Super Bowl.
Pretty incredible. Nick Foles and what he was able to do in the National Football League after a 3-year career here at the University of Arizona. 520-848-1290 is the number for you to get in on the program. Again, we've got a poll up right now over at Wildcats 1290. What's your favorite Nick Foles moment as quarterback for the Arizona Wildcats? I gave you 3 choices, and then I gave you an other choice right now. 58% of you saying the 2010 win over Iowa at Arizona Stadium was your top game involving Nick Foles. 25% of you saying the 2009 win at Arizona State. 8% right now saying the 2009 win at USC, and another 8% saying other so far. So if you have another game that we did not put on that list, we'd love to hear from you on that. Let us know what that game was. Perhaps it was a game you were at, home, or away and had a chance to. Jada brought up the Stanford game in 2009 being one of those games on his list as a great game for Nick Foles. Perhaps there's another game that you were thinking about that you remember. He threw for there was a game at home again, and still to me, I look at that another game his sophomore year. A lot of these games were his sophomore year. The game against Oregon, which to me, I think when I look back, I've been covering this now going on. I've covered Arizona football for 16 seasons. That to me is still probably the most disappointing loss that I've been a part of, just because that was the game that would have given them a Pac-12 championship that this university was never able to win. That was, I think that game day was here that day, November 21st, 2009. Game day was here. The Wildcats at that point, I believe they were 4-2. They were coming off a loss. They ended up winning the games after that at Arizona State and Southern California. It was just a huge, huge day on campus. And who was that little small quarterback? Jeremiah Masoli, I think, was the quarterback from Oregon that stole the game in the end in overtime. But Nick was great that day. 30 of 46, 314 yards, 4 touchdowns. I believe that was the only game. No, he actually, his senior year, he had 2 more games where he threw for 4 more touchdowns.
Jeremiah Masoli tied it with the touchdown with 6 seconds left.
Yeah.
And then won it with a 1-yard run in overtime.
Yeah.
Second overtime.
Just, I remember the Zona Zoo, because at that time it was before they built the wall. So
Right.
there was the wall, and then there was a fence. I just remember them being up against the fence, ready to charge the field for a dramatic win, and it not happening.
So what you're saying is Nick Foles is responsible for the wall.
Could have been. Because it came a number of years after that. But, it's that I remember that one time for sure where that happened. All right, Cricket joins us now.
Hello.
Cricket. How
Gentlemen,
are you?
good. How are you guys?
All right, well, this is our last day of the week. So we figured we want to still make sure that folks know what's happening in Southern Arizona this weekend. So,
yes,
it is the weekend. Woo!
Woo!
What's happening in Southern Arizona this weekend?
All right, you might like this. Friday night, the Broadway Rave.
Ooh.
It is a traveling rave that is celebrating the best of Broadway.
Okay, where's that at?
Friday night, 9 p.m. at 191 East Toole Avenue.
191 East Toole seems to be the place for music nowadays. One of our friend's daughters and her band, they were at 191 Toole last weekend.
That's kind of cool.
I don't know that I've been there, though.
It's like a nice, small little kind of intimate thing going on. Yeah. And also this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, Pima Animal Care Center, a mega adoption event. All pets are free to adopt. License fee will apply, and free crates for anyone adopting a dog over 40 pounds. Extended hours Saturday and Sunday, 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. at Silverbell and Sweetwater, both Saturday and Sunday. The Spinnin' Wheels Outdoor Roller Disco on Saturday night from 7 to 10 at the MSA Annex. $10, bring your own skates. And on Saturday night, it's the final night for the summer safari nights at Reed Park Zoo. And the theme this week is Amazon to the Andes.
Oh, I gotta check and make sure. We may have to have you give away some tickets to that a little bit later in the show if this is the last week for summer safari.
Yes, sir.
There you go. All right, Cricket will be back in the 5 o'clock hour with more about what's happening. But right now, she's getting you home with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together. I-10 near Avra Valley Road, a vehicle fire eastbound side of I-10. Approaching Avra Valley Road, and also expect backups as well. Harrison at Catalina Highway for a collision. Some slowdowns westbound Ajo at Mission. Southbound La Cholla at Ajo Way for more slowing. And the southbound I-19 frontage road at Irvington for backups. So we do have a pretty good chance for storms around 5 this afternoon and 98 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Bank of America. Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses, so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America, N.A., copyright 2024.
I'm Bridget Condon with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Chiefs head coach Andy Reid says quarterback Patrick Mahomes and the rest of the first team will play the first quarter in their preseason debut against the Jags Saturday. And Steelers quarterback Justin Fields will also start Friday night against the Texans, while Russell Wilson continues to recover from a calf injury. Ravens head coach John Harbaugh announced that Lamar Jackson will not play Friday against the Eagles. Instead, Josh Johnson will get the start. As for running back Derrick Henry, NFL Network's Cameron Wolfe reports that he will not play during the entire preseason. And the Jets activated wide receiver Mike Williams off the PUP list Wednesday as he works his way back from a torn ACL he suffered last season with the Chargers. And Falcons wide receiver Josh Downs suffered a high ankle sprain in practice Wednesday and is expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks, according to NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this. If something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
The light is fading, your hands are sore, and the last tool has been put away. Now is the time to feel the satisfaction that comes with a job well done. But when you get your tools from Harbor Freight, something about the job feels a little different. Your wallet, because we believe that everyone deserves hardworking tools at hardworking prices. And that's what we have here. So, whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Not all sports stations are built the same way. 1290 has Wildcats football, men's basketball, and baseball, plus the NFL and the Super Bowl. Tucson trusts 1290. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
What's with the earmuffs, Gary?
Holy cannoli. I just got back from a house with the loudest AC I've ever heard.
In other words, it wasn't installed right.
It must have been installed upside down for all that noise.
If you want the air conditioner built for Arizona heat, get the super quiet Grizzly from Alaskan AC.
If your air conditioner sounds like...
It could sound like...
We stop vibrations so your AC runs smooth and cool.
People all over Arizona are singing about the Grizzly.
If you want the air conditioner built for Arizona heat, get the super quiet Grizzly from Alaskan AC.
Shh! Hear that?
I don't hear anything.
That means...
The Grizzly is doing its job, keeping you cool
with barely a purr.
We believe ACs should sound like this.
Because we do things the Alaskan way, not the cheap way.
If you want the air conditioner built for Arizona heat, get the super quiet Grizzly from Alaskan AC.com.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
Arizona's oldest brewery, Barrio Brewing Company, has been brewing for Arizona for 33 years and offers legendary locally brewed beer, along with great food, all in a wonderful and distinctive industrial atmosphere. Barrio is family-friendly, which includes a dog-friendly patio. They're located just outside of downtown Tucson at 800 East 16th Street. Enjoy popular local brewed beers like Barrio Blonde, Hipster Hazy IPA, and Barrio Rojo, along with seasonal favorites Peach Ale and Senor Sour. Try the Carny Fries on Barrio's new happy hour menu, Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. Food and beer available for dine-in or to-go. Event space rental is also available. Check out their entire beer and food menu, along with a great selection of cool merchandise, online at barriobrewing.com. The friendly employee owners of Barrio Brewing Company look forward to seeing you soon.
And this Friday, we've got a sweet deal for you from Barrio Brewing Company. You can get a $50 gift certificate for just $25. And this sweet deal will go on sale this Friday morning at 8:30 at WildcatsRadio1290.com.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8695. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8695. That's 800-575-8695. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Why are there so many options to listen to Wildcats Radio 1290? Like the Odyssey.com and iHeartRadio app. Well, to be honest, they asked to carry the best sports station in town, and we didn't want to hurt their feelings.
That is so sweet.
This is Wildcats Radio 1290. DK on the sports tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Nick Foles retires today from the National Football League after 11 seasons. Just kind of, let's give you just an indication of how good he was at the University of Arizona. We'll give you some of the numbers, and there are a lot of them in his career at the university. In terms of individual passing games, 400 yards or more, Nick Foles is on that list 5 times. He is 6th all-time His best passing game was 448 yards at Oregon. That was in November of 2010. He is sixth behind, obviously, Anu Solomon, who's number one at 520. Willie Tuitama at 5'10", Jason Johnson at 492, Matt Scott at 491, Jaden DeLora at 484, and then Nick Foles. Foles also had passing games in his career of 440 yards. That's ninth best all time for an individual game. 417 yards. That's 14th best all time, and 416 yards, which was the game we were talking about at Stanford, which is 15th all time in Arizona Wildcats history. Nick Foles also has one of the top 10 longest pass plays in Arizona history. Nick Foles to Jaron Kreiner. That was a great tandem back in the day. 85 yards. The record, obviously, Jason Johnson to Brandon Marshall, 99 yards against Idaho in 2001. Nick Foles is in the top 15 total offense games at Arizona. 446 yards and 445 yards. Did that twice. That's 13th and 14th all time.
Do we want to hear the 85-yard touchdown to Kreiner again?
Sure.
From the 15-yard line. Play action. Foles wants a bunch on first down. Got a man open. Got him. 85 yards. Touchdown, Kreiner. He's going to trot in and hand it to the back judge.
Yeah, he called the touchdown when he was probably on the 20-yard line, DK. That's how much
That's
space he
how
had.
wide
Yeah.
open he was on that play. Most passing yards in a season, Nick Foles at the top of that list. You remember 2 years ago, Jaden DeLora put himself into third place on that list, but it's still Nick Foles, 4,334 yards in 2011.
Not only is he number one, DK, he had 600 more yards than Anu Solomon did in second place. 600 more yards in the season than anybody else.
Yeah. He's on all three of his years as the quarterback are in the top 12. His senior year, his junior year was the sixth most at 3191, and his sophomore year at 2486 is 12th most all time in a single season. Passing touchdowns in a season, Nick Foles is tied with Willie Tuitama at 28, and he's also eighth on that list that was his senior season. He threw for 28. His junior season, when he threw for 20, is tied for eighth on that list. His 387 completions in 2011 are number one all time in Arizona Wildcats histories. His 560 attempts in 2011 are number one all time. His completion percentage that season, 69.1. That is number one all time at the University of Arizona. His passing efficiency that season, 145.6, is ninth best in Wildcats history. So, again, this is a guy, Nick Foles, who is all over the stat sheet
My favorite
at the University of Arizona. And we'll leave on this one, career passing yards and career passing touchdowns. Now, he's tied career passing touchdowns at the top with Willie T at 67, but he is the all-time passing leader in total yards for a career, 10,011 we mentioned earlier. That is almost 900 more. Or 800 more, I should say, than Willie T.
Yeah, my favorite is, passing yards leader and passing touchdown leader. And there's a bit of a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar thing going on here as well, because he came from Michigan State, didn't play, so he only played 3 years of college, DK. So what we're talking, all these numbers we're talking about, Willie Tuitama played 4 years here.
Right.
Anu Solomon played 4 years, obviously had some concussion issues. Khalil Tate played 4 years. A lot of the guys on this list were 4-year players. Only took him 3 years to compile those numbers. So I remember way back when Sean Elliott broke Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's all-time Pac-10 at the time scoring number, it was in 4 years, and that was a big asterisk. So, yeah, you got to remember Nick Foles, only 3 years of college football stat-wise.
Nick Foles, is he the best quarterback ever at the University of Arizona? Statistically, it reads that way. Willie Tuitama, man. I mean, think about that. Those two guys were back-to-back. That's the thing that really, when you think about that era between 2005 and 2011, you had the two most prolific passers in Arizona Wildcats history, back-to-back, in Willie T and Nick
I'm
Foles.
partial to Kelvin's guys because that was my era. That was when I was a student at the U of A. So it's interesting that both Keith Smith and Ortiz Jenkins are on this list.
Right.
They're like 7th and 8th in most touchdown passes, and they played together.
Yeah.
Right?
This Friday, I've got a sweet deal for you from Barrio Brewing Company. You can get a $50 gift certificate for just $25. This sweet deal goes on sale this Friday. That's tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. I'll probably still be out with the anesthesia at 8:30. So when this goes on sale, I won't even be awake. Barrio Brewing Company has been brewing for Arizona for 33 years, offers legendary locally fresh brewed beer along with great, good, all in a wonderful, quirky, industrial type atmosphere. Barrio is a family-friendly restaurant. You can bring your dog there. Some of the best local brews, Barrio Blonde, Barrio Rojo, Hipsterville, Hazy IPA. Happy hours from 3 to 6, so you got about an hour and a half left to get over there and get in on some happy hour as well. More info about their beer selections, food options, and events, as well as you can rent space there for your event. I actually went to a party there one time, a going-away party for one of my wife's friends. BarrioBrewing.com is where you can go for that. Again, it's a sweet deal. Goes on sale 8:30 in the morning tomorrow. Wildcats Radio 1290.com. $50 gift certificate for just $25. All right, we want you to hear an interview that Nick Foles gave as a rookie in the National Football League. This was right when he got to Philadelphia, and Andy Reid was still the coach at that particular time. Mike Vick was the quarterback at that time. And Nick Foles, like any quarterback coming into the NFL, was just ready to be as good a sponge and absorb all the information from guys like that he could.
I'm here with Nick Foles, new Philadelphia Eagle quarterback. How does that sound, first of all?
Oh, it sounds awesome. It doesn't seem real.
Nice. And when you found out that you were going to be a Philadelphia Eagle, before you even just found out you're moving to Philadelphia, what was your first reaction, thought?
I was excited for the opportunity. I mean, it's a dream come true, and going to such a great place, such a great fan base, great program, coaches, all around, just great atmosphere. I was really excited and very fortunate to be an Eagle.
What have the conversations been like so far with not just Andy Reid, but the offensive coaching staff, quarterback coach? What are the conversations like?
They've been great. I mean, it's really just I'm learning the offense. We just had our rookie camp, so just really going through the process, and it's gonna take a little time. I'm day by day studying the playbook, just getting better, studying the film, being with my coaches, asking them questions. It's a bunch of stuff going on, and all the coaches are coaching me, and I'm just writing it down and just trying to put it all on the field. And it's exciting for me because I have all these great guys around me really coaching me up, and a lot of great mentors on the team with all the players that are there.
And we mentioned Coach Reid likes to throw the ball around, obviously during your time at Arizona, a very similar mentality, but I would assume a different playbook. What are the big differences between the system you ran at Arizona and what is expected of you in Philly?
I think the concepts some of them are similar, some of them are different. Everybody has their own plays, and then there's some plays that everybody runs, and I think the biggest thing is learning your personnel, learning who you have on the team, what your goal is for each play, what Coach Morningweg's goal is, why does he want to run this play, and just really getting in his head so we're all on the same page. And then the verbiage, the plays I ran a no huddle the last 2 years, so I'm back in the huddle, and these plays some are really lengthy, but some aren't that bad, and it's really just learning what their verbiage. It's like learning another language, and once I get it down, it'll be great.
And what about the Michael Vick experience? Obviously a very different kind of quarterback than you are, but what can you take from a quarterback like that?
I mean, Michael Vick's one of the, greatest athletes ever to, walk the face of the earth. I mean, the dude's an absolute stud, and I mean, I've known about him forever as a kid. You see him, and the things he does is amazing, but you can just see how his game's progressed throughout his career, and just how he approaches it, how he reads it, how he is in the huddle, what he does on the field, just how he extends plays, and just, it's great learning from him, just him as a person. So I've only been around him a few times, but I'm excited to work with him.
And as you look forward to training camp in the coming months, is there anything that's at the forefront of your brain? Obviously, we talked about the verbiage and the playbook, but beyond the playbook, it's obviously a faster game. It's a longer schedule. It's a grind. It's more physical. Is there anything that you're mentally preparing yourself, I guess, more than anything else for?
I think just my mental preparation's always been one day at a time. Tackle what's right in front of you. Don't worry about what's off in the future, because if you're worrying about that, you're not going to put all you can into what's in front of you. So that's my approach to everything, and really just doing what I can right now to better myself for when I get to training camp and those long days, the long training camp. It's a long season, so I'm going to go one day at a time and not look any further than that.
Nick Foles, that was his rookie year with the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's give you some more interesting numbers here for Nick Foles and his time as an Arizona Wildcat. We were talking about Keith Smith and Foles and Willie T, the top 3 highest completion percentages in a career at Arizona. Foles completed 67% of his passes. Willie T, 62. Keith Smith, 60. And interestingly enough, as much as Willie and Nick threw the football, they've got the top 2 fewest passes had intercepted percentage in their career. Nick had just 33 interceptions in 1,396 attempts. That's 2.36 passes intercepted per 500, or the limit is 500 attempts. So 2.36 passes intercepted. And Willie T was at 2.42. So the two guys that threw the most passes, but also were very great at taking care of the football. And you mentioned he had you mentioned he had a run of 25 in a row at one point.
25 completions in a row, in the NFL. I remember my first
was an
blush
NFL stat, okay.
Watching Nick Foles when he first got here from Michigan State. His arm strength plus accuracy plus height, that thing you always talk about 6'5" guys over 6 foot guys. Nick Foles was a little taller than I think a lot of people had been used to seeing quarterbacks here at the U of A, and his accuracy and his arm strength. So not surprising to hear those numbers about his interception. We all know that they threw the ball around a lot. Like, think about how much Keith Smith and Ortiz Jenkins played on running teams, right? Teams that ran the ball predominantly. They threw the ball a lot during Nick Foles' time, but clearly without throwing that many interceptions, the lowest interception percent, it's just because of that accuracy. He had a really, really strong arm, didn't take a ton of chances, and could fit it in there when he needed to.
Nick Foles, Anu Solomon, and Willie Tuitama tied for the most touchdown passes in a season at Arizona with 28. We'll give you more Nick Foles as we go along here. His center, Kyle Quinn, is going to join us in the 5 o'clock hour. It's DK on the Sports Tip. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together, sponsored by O'Reilly Chevrolet. New wreck reported Wilmot and Golf Links and Wilmot. Also clearing Harrison and Catalina Highway and Harrison. On I-10 near Aver Valley Road, vehicle fire eastbound I-10 approaching Aver Valley Road and backups as well. So there is a severe thunderstorm warning for East Central Pima County until 5 this afternoon. 95 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by WhatsApp.
Me and the kids were always messaging. They LOL'd, I ROFL'd, but then I changed phone and the bubbles went green. But where there's a fill, there's a way. And I found a way to share what's in here. I'm tapping my heart.
WhatsApp, the place to safely send messages between different devices. Message privately with everyone.
Here at O'Reilly Chevrolet, we want to thank you, Tucson, for helping us celebrate 100 years of serving our community. And we want to thank the Tucson Fire Department for helping us put out the cape.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Sean Furrier here for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care with an instant savings offer just for radio listeners. So if you need tires, right now is the time to save big on every tire brand and over 25,000 tires. You'll save big with manufacturer's rebates, and radio listeners unlock up to $200 savings on tires when you visit jackfurriers.com/radio. Huge savings on tires just for radio listeners, but you've got to visit jackfurriers.com/radio to unlock this special offer, which saves you more. Who thought you could get paid for listening to the radio? Jack Furrier has tires for your car, truck, 4x4, CUV, SUV, EV, hybrid, trailer, RV, even your wheelbarrow. All 14 of Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care's award-winning locations are standing by and ready to help with the very best prices on affordable tires and no hidden extras. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, we're here to get you there. But make sure to get your extra instant savings at jackfurriers.com/radio.
O'Reilly.
You've got questions? O'Reilly Auto Parts has answers. Need a pro you can trust? We've got that too. No matter what you need, our professional parts people have the training and expertise to help you do things right. Deep automotive knowledge. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hard work is the foundation of the job site. Boot Barn Work and Carhartt are committed to supporting the hard workers that keep our nation moving. Boot Barn Work proudly offers a broad selection of Carhartt workwear and boots, known for durability and quality since 1889. When the work is relentless, Carhartt is trusted to finish the job. With so much on the line, there's no room for cutting corners. Carhartt at Boot Barn Work.
DK on the Sports Tip, 3 to 6 weekdays.
Is Charlie Woods the most anticipated, follow in the footsteps child of an athletic Hall of Famer we've ever had? Bronny James, as good as he may be, still has to compete within the parameters of a team sport. Golf is individual. Dale Earnhardt Jr. came along just at the beginning of the social media era. I don't know that there's anybody else.
Wildcats Radio 1290.
Frog and Firkin, a standout among the bars and restaurants in the University area. Frog and Firkin does what very few pubs can, combine a festive atmosphere and great beer with a menu that could stand on its own in any restaurant setting. A sports enthusiast dream with over 30 TVs, 30 beers on tap, and over 100 import and domestic bottles. Daily drink and food specials, and the kitchen is serving until 10. A standout in the University area. Frog and Firkin. Eat local, support local. frogandfirkin.com.
I'm embarrassed to say this. I've been using deodorant on my armpits for 30 years, and anytime I noticed odor anywhere else, I thought I needed another shower, I wasn't clean, or I felt like there was something wrong with me. And then my gynecologist told me about Lumi. It's a whole body deodorant for pits, feet, and privates that controls odor anywhere and everywhere on your body. Since Lumi, I never have to worry about body odor ever again, anywhere on my body. And that reassurance is worth every penny.
There's a special offer for listeners. Use code SHOWER and get 15% off your first purchase with code SHOWER, like the Lumi Starter Pack, Acidified Body Wash, or new Lumi Plus Sweat Control. That's LUME deodorant.com, code SHOWER for 15% off your first purchase. With over 200,000 five-star reviews, I am so sure you're going to love it. Or return it for free with Lumi's 60-day money-back guarantee. That's LUME deodorant.com, code SHOWER to save 15% today.
This is Zach Gelb with the Sports Minute. The Cleveland Browns envision their new $2.4 billion stadium being a dome. When I think of the Dog Pound, I see fans who are blue-collar that show up in the rain, sleet, or snow and always bring a raucous atmosphere, regardless of the quality of their team on the field. If the Browns put a roof on their stadium, what's the next crazy change to happen? Are they going to start serving shrimp cocktail and caviar to the Dog Pound too? A dome stadium for the Browns is un-American and something I will never stand for. I'm Zach Gelb.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. We will be chatting with Kyle Quinn coming up at the 5 o'clock hour. He played center at the University of Arizona. He had Nick Foles' hands.
Always the smartest guys,
his
right?
Tush for a number of those great games that we have been discussing all show. So we'll get Kyle's thoughts on that and playing with Nick and Nick's career in the National Football League. And if you head on over right now to Twitter, you can vote in our poll. Our question of the day is, what is your favorite Nick Foles moment as quarterback for the Arizona Wildcats? 2009 win at USC, 2009 win at Arizona State, 2010 win against Iowa at the stadium, or other game. What other game might that be? Right now, 54% of you saying it was that 2010 game at the stadium against the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Yeah, that was a top 10. I don't think we've mentioned that, but that was a top 10 Iowa team coming in.
Yeah, absolutely. Trevin Wade intercepted a ball and returned it for a touchdown in that game. That was a fun night. That was a fun night for sure out at Arizona Stadium. It was a fun night in Paris, or maybe not. It ended up being a fun night. It didn't look like it was going to be a fun night for the U.S. men's basketball team, but they found a way against Serbia.
Let's check in with Zora Stevenson.
Noah, in that huddle, Steve Kerr sending confidence to his team, but also reality. He said, hey, guys, we've got this, but we have got to fight.
LeBron James, tough bucket. Will it be Captain L'America putting this team on his back? Jokic inside, floats it up, in and one. Nikola Jokic in MVP form in Paris. U.S. looking for its 5th straight gold medal, trailing by 11. Durant,
and a foul.
Pure.
And a foul down low.
And one. Feels like you got to go right at him, unless Booker's open. For 3! Timeout Serbia. 7:17 to play, and the U.S. is back within 5. Whoever wants it more.
Wants it more. This is what this game is going to come down to.
Inside, Embiid. Got it, and one. In and out. Milutinov nearly had another, but Durant rips it away. U.S. can bring it to within a possession. Durant inside for Embiid. Going right at Jokic with 4 fouls. Embiid fades and fills it up.
Yeah. All that Embiid noise that was going on out there. You see why Embiid is on this team right now.
2-point game. Back to Micic with 5. Booker steps up. Micic, cross, step into a heavily contested 3. He missed the rim. James the rebound. U.S. can tie or take the lead. Durant thought about it. James, the drive. James, the finish! Booker, James.
Put him in a pick and roll. Oh.
Curry for the lead. Oh! Kaboom!
We said we was going to get our Stef Curry moment.
32 for Stef Curry. U.S. up 1. Micic can't respond. James, the rebound. Looking to run. Booker and Durant with him. James. Oh! LeBron James. Le Captain America putting the country on his back.
Talk that talk. Talk that talk, Noah.
6 seconds left. Micic gonna have to hurry. Bogdanovic puts it up. Short. And the United States trailing by as many as 17. Back from underneath the grave. Advance to the gold medal game.
Partner, was you worried?
No.
Me neither.
Great call there from Dwayne Wade and Noah Eagle on, I believe it was on USA Network today. Steph Curry, 36 points, 9 of 14 three-pointers. He was 12 of 19 overall from the three. 36 points, 12 of 19 overall from the field. 36 points, 8 rebounds for Steph. LeBron James, a triple-double, 16 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists for LeBron James. Let's hear after the ball game from one Steph Curry, who chatted with Mike Tirico after his 9 3-point performance.
Steph Curry joins us now. 36 points. You put those headsets on, and you were shaking your head. What were the emotions like for the last 20 minutes?
This is everything I imagined it to be. Obviously, this is my first go-around in the Olympics. Knew we were going to get challenged by a great Serbia team, and to have to beat them 3 times this summer was going to be tough. I just kind of got lost in the moment of understanding how big this stage is and what's at stake for this team. And it was special. It was the most fun, I've had in a very long time. And, to dig deep like we did with this group and get a win, special. So I'm kind of basking in that right now. And obviously we got another tough challenge, France on their home court.
Yeah, Steph, you've won rings. I mean, you've been in the biggest pressure of the NBA Finals. Why does this have a little different feel for you?
Because I know I'll never get it back. This is probably my one and only time to enjoy this stage, and having seen Team USA play for years and know what it means to stand on that podium and get a gold medal around your neck. That's the challenge and the mission for us, and it felt like it was slipping away for a little bit in that game, and to be able to dig deep the way we did, we would love to win by 20 every game, but this was an extremely fun, kind of just tough it out win, and I just praise God that I was able to stay confident. I haven't had it going at all this whole tournament, and that doesn't mean anything. You just got to stay ready for your moment.
Yeah, I think you can fill it up at any point, just when you dial it in. You've had teams in big moments in games in the finals where it's you or Clay, or when KD was with you, you know who you can go to. On the floor at the end of the game, I was looking, you can go to anybody, and everybody had a little bit of a moment. How different is that in a spot where you're trying to dig out of a big hole?
It's a blessing and a curse, to be honest. Like, you have to stay confident in what you're trying to do on offense because you have so many options. We got stuck, a little bit in that second half where, we kind of were overpassing, overcutting. Right. Guys weren't taking shots because the next guy's KD, the next guy's Bron, the next guy's Devin Booker. But once you just play basketball and the first open guy takes a shot, we have confidence in anybody. KD with a huge shot down the stretch. Yep. Joel with a huge shot. Everybody hit big shots in the fourth quarter, so it was big for us to have contributions from everybody, but our defense won.
And Melo was there on the side trying to call plays as well as you were going for his record. He had 37 in an Olympic game. You had 36, one off that mark. Steph, thanks. Good luck against France. We appreciate you stopping, man.
I appreciate you.
95-91, the final score. The United States now 5-0 in the Olympic tournament. Your Suns today, Devin Booker played 24 minutes, scored 6 points on 2 of 4 shooting. Kevin Durant off the bench, 24 minutes, had 9 points and 3 rebounds. Nikola Jokic did not have a triple-double. He did have 17 points and 11 rebounds, a double-double. Bogdan Bogdanovic led the Serbians with 20 points on 8 of 18 shooting. This is, I mentioned, LeBron James with a triple-double. This is only the 4th time in the modern era of the Olympics since they really started tracking triple-doubles that one has been completed in an Olympic basketball game. LeBron has actually done it twice. Luka Doncic has 1, and a gentleman by the name of Alexander Belov from the Soviet Union, the first to do it in 1976.
He was good. It's tough because if you think about the Americans' perspective, you're winning games by 30, 40 points in the early rounds of the tournament in the pool play. You're not going to get a triple-double. You got 12 guys on that bench, 14 guys on that bench who are looking for playing time. So it would almost have to be DK in a situation like this where they're challenged. The story of this game, Serbia had 5 made three-pointers in the first quarter, 5 made three-pointers in the second quarter, 5 made three-pointers in the third quarter, 0 made three-pointers in the fourth.
There you go.
They had a 13-point lead for those listening who didn't get a chance to watch it yet. Serbia had a 13-point lead going into the fourth quarter. All those highlights there were the fourth quarter comeback by Team USA.
Take away the three-point line from them, and you got a shot to win that game.
Joker is such a, we talk about gravity is a big term in basketball these days. Joker, everybody talks about his passing, but his ability to finish and his touch around the rim, especially, and anywhere really within 10, 15 feet, and everybody's seen that release he's got behind his head from three-point land. His offense, DK, is what sets up a lot of his passing, and when you surround him with three-point shooters like they have obviously constructed this team, it can go that way because you got to send so much extra defensive attention. The reason why Joker only had 17 points in this game is because he got double and tripled every single time he got it.
All right, in the next hour, we'll hear also from Stef Curry after this ball game. It was a win for the United States again. They will take on now France in the championship game as France knocked off Germany.
Upset, I think.
73-69, yeah. Victor Wembanyama, 11 points in that game. He only made 4 of 17 shots, but 3 blocks as well.
Yeah, no, it's not about his offense, really about his defense. But Germany won the FIBA World Championships 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it's hard to pick a favorite. Obviously, the United States will always be the favorite in tournaments like this. But as far as a second team, it's either was going to be Germany or potentially Canada, just because of how much recent success Germany's had, how much NBA talent Canada has on their roster. The French team is really Rudy Gobert, 4-time defensive MVP, the Rookie of the Year last year, the next, unicorn-type player in Wembanyama. But other than that, and Evan Fournier, they don't have a ton of experience. We all know that, 3 out of the top 7 picks in this year's NBA draft or French 18-year-olds. So potentially down the road, you could see a lot of NBA guys on that team. But Germany was, I think, probably the second most picked team to get to that title game. So upset today by the home country for sure.
Well, and right now, this is Victor Wembanyama and 4 other guys because, Rudy Gobert is not really playing a lot of minutes.
Yeah.
And so you've got a bunch of, you got some guys that people aren't necessarily familiar with around him, but they've gotten to the final game of this Olympic tournament.
Remember the Tony Kukoc story?
Yeah.
Where Tony had signed, he was playing Europe, obviously. He got drafted and signed by the Bulls, but not before. He didn't actually play with Michael and Scottie Pippen before they played each other in the Olympics. And Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen took it upon themselves to make sure their new teammate coming up the next season would not have a single easy bucket every time they faced off. I have a feeling Victor Wembanyama is going to be going up against Joel Embiid, Anthony Davis. I mean, there's kind of a who's who of big men on this U.S. team. So I would imagine, just like he did last year, being a rookie, some of these U.S. guys are going to welcome Wembanyama into the Olympics. And that's going to be their goal. Anyway, we'll see what happens.
All right, DK on the Sports Tip. We'll talk more about Nick Foles' football career in the final hour of our show. JW Madden is here, cricket as well. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Harrison near Stella, a swift water rescue. Harrison near Stella. Please avoid that area, some flooding. We had an earlier 18-wheeler vehicle fire, I-10 near Aver Valley Road, eastbound I-10 approaching Aver Valley Road, still backups there. Collisions, Wilmot and Golf Links, Nogales Highway and Aerospace Parkway. Low visibility, heavy rain in some areas and a severe thunderstorm warning for East Central Pima County until 5 this afternoon and 92 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate, not one based on anyone else. So if you drive safely, you could save money. Good to know. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2024 Summer Games, sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Protect the stuff you love with Renters Insurance. Visit progressive.com. Team USA men's basketball coach Stef Curry warned not to take Serbia lightly. They've got 3-time MVP Nikola Jokic, after all, and the U.S. found themselves down 17 early. But with an unconscious Stef Curry, the Americans are on to the Olympic final with a 95-91 win. Curry, 36 points. Team USA matches up with France for gold on Saturday. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone has her gold again in the women's 400-meter hurdles. She broke her own world record. McLaughlin-Levrone, the first woman to win this event twice, and she does it in back-to-back games. Midway through the women's golf tournament, Morgan Matrao from Switzerland has a one-shot lead at 8 under. The top two Americans, Nelly Korda and Rose Zhang, are 2 under, 6 back. With this Summer Games update, I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sport.
When you switch and save with Progressive, you could use that money towards golf lessons to become a scratch golfer. Progressive cannot guarantee that you will ever become a scratch golfer. Scratch golfers are really, really good. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds on average, and sure, you could put that money towards lessons, but if you can't hit the broadside of a barn and think you're going to become a scratch golfer, you're delusional. Sorry, just telling it like it is. Savings? Maybe. Scratch golfer? Don't hold your breath. Switch and see if you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance and Affiliates. Not available in all states. It's universally accepted that golf is hard. Progressive cannot guarantee improved performance on the course.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's no contest, Tucson. You're listening to the home of the Arizona Wildcats. That's why 1290 runs this town. This is the one and only home of your Arizona Wildcats.
And you know this, man!
We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
There are many reasons you might need Dorado Rockin' Materials. A few bare spots in the yard. The driveway needs filling in. Or it could be that the yard needs a whole makeover. Whatever the reason, if your yard has the summertime blues, Dorado Rockin' Materials has everything from sand to boulders and every rock and pebble in between. If you need help spreading it, we have options for that too. Call 400-4233. Dorado Rockin' Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Are you ready to adopt? Come to the Humane Society of Southern Arizona. When you adopt from us, you will save more than one life. You'll also make room for the next pet in need. The Humane Society of Southern Arizona has been compassionately serving pets and the people who love them since 1944. Our knowledgeable adoption matchmakers will help you find the right pet for your home and support you after you adopt. We are open 7 days a week at our main campus at 635 West Roger Road. Learn more and see adoptable pets at hssaz.org.
At Standard Restaurant Supply, their vision and number one goal is to improve the lives of their customers and clients by providing a better culinary experience. Standard Restaurant Supply, if it's in a restaurant and not food, they have it. Open to the public, no membership fees, and they offer bulk store pricing without the bulk store purchase. Open Monday through Saturday at 601 South Cherry Avenue or call 885-2345. Standard Restaurant Supply is a proud sponsor of the U of A Radio Sports broadcast.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. The one and only home of Arizona basketball. Pre- and post-game coverage, play-by-play, and live press conferences. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
From the what? Central Northwest Tucson, duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names. David Scott Kelly.
You want Philly? Yeah, let's do it.
Foles in the gun. Clement to his right.
Easy.
Foles moves to the right. It goes directly to Clement. Clement reverses it. And the pass goes into the end zone. And it is a touchdown by Nick Foles.
Nick Foles retiring from the National Football League after 11 seasons and 3 more on the collegiate level at the University of Arizona. Pleased to be joined by his center here at the University of Arizona, Kyle Quinn. You hear Kyle on the game day broadcast on the Arizona Wildcats radio network, working with our guy Brody Dryden. And first of all, Kyle, appreciate you taking a few moments to join us. Before we get into your time with Nick here at the University of Arizona, tell me what you remember about when you saw that play in the Super Bowl, the Philly special.
Hey, David, thanks for having me on. Get a chance to talk about one of my good friends and best teammate I could ever ask for in Nick Foles. But I got goosebumps right now. I'm not going to lie. Watching that game, I watched it with an extra set of eyes almost, just seeing how Nick did and the way he performed, not just in that game, but the whole postseason was just such an incredible story, getting to see him, seize the opportunity, seize the moment, and really just shine and really showcase who he is, not just as a football player, but also as a person. So goosebumps are still flying right now, but yeah, just a great moment for him in his career as a football player.
When you look back on just the first time you met Nick Foles, so what were your impressions when you first met him and were beginning to know him, like you mentioned, as a friend and as a teammate?
So going back down the memory lane here, I remember I was actually a freshman. I had redshirted the first fall. I met him in 2009 when he had transferred in. And I remember he reminded me of the guy Sunshine from Remember the Titans. I mean, he looks exactly like Sunshine, so that nickname kind of stuck with him for a little bit. But I remember that first spring ball with him, and he was just an absolutely incredible asset for me in my personal growth as a player. One of the biggest challenges I overcame when I first got to the University of Arizona was learning how to snap the ball. I did not play center in high school, so I had no knowledge of how to snap a football under center, let alone the shotgun. And Nick Foles was the first quarterback to come over and say, "Hey, Kyle, let me help work with you." So I can remember while the 1s and 2s are practicing, I'd be over there on the side with him, learning how to snap the football, getting as many reps as possible, both before, during, and after practice, just to try and fine-tune that skill, because it really is an art. Snapping a football in that center quarterback relationship is really one of the most dynamic in sports, and he was a big, big part in getting me to excel as a player the way I did.
And then describe him then as a player, like a guy that, when you would get in between the lines with him. One of the things I've always heard was, you couldn't really rattle him. He was kind of very just even keeled no matter what the situation was in a game.
No, and you're hitting the nail on the head there, David. He was as level-headed, the steady presence you want to have in a quarterback, and also the team leader. The moment never fazed him. And I can remember, being in the huddle with him when I first took over as being a starter in 2011. That was his senior year, and we actually had a really, new offensive line. I was the only returning starter that year, so I was the only one with any game experience. We had 2 very young, tackles on the outside and some guys on the inside. You guys like, Trace Biscuit and Chris Putton. Those guys that just hadn't had a lot of experience yet, but that moment never rattled him. He was our biggest cheerleader. He was always telling us, guys, don't worry about the previous play, worry about the next play. And having that demeanor and that confidence about him was really, just a great, sounding point for us to rely on, because knowing that, hey, he's going to do the best he can to help us out, but also knowing that he has our back no matter how, challenging the situation may be in the game.
We're chatting with Kyle Quinn, U of A center and captain from the class of 2012, U of A football class 2012, talking about his good friend Nick Foles, who retired today from the National Football League. He was back here last year as one of the honorary captains prior to, I believe it was the home opener last year. And that, from what I understand, that was the first time he'd been back here really since he left.
Yeah, you're correct, David. It'd been a long time since I had seen Nick. I talked to him and texted him over the phone and kept in touch that way. But actually, seeing him in person was definitely one of the highlights of the football season last year. Not just what happened on the field, there was on the football, but also what happened off the field. And getting to chat with him on the sideline for a few minutes. He had a lot of people to go see. He's a very popular guy. He's a great ambassador of Arizona football. So to be able to have just a few minutes with him on the sideline, reliving the glory days, talking about, how we used to pick up pass protections, how we used to, we would actually, one of the cool stories I have about me and Nick is, we had a very tough year in 2011.
Yeah.
Coach Stoops was relieved of duties, and that really forced Nick into a more of a leadership role than ever. When you're head coach, when you have a transition like that, it can put teams and players in awkward positions, but Nick totally embraced that. And one of the biggest things I remember from that junior year is him and I would meet together. We were always the last two watching film together, making sure we were on the same page. But then he'd also ask for my insight on what plays to run, because he had a heavy hand in helping develop the game plan back then, because he's an excellent quarterback. So getting to have that insight and have that, be able to, tell him my ideas and my thoughts was really just incredible. And not many college centers get to say that they had as much of a hand in the play calling as I did, working with Nick as a quarterback.
We were talking earlier, just kind of joking about the U of A love story of him and Torrey meeting on campus. You have a very similar, obviously, story, meeting Kenzie Fowler on campus. What do you remember about him meeting Torrey Moore and how that whole thing came together?
Oh, the Wildcat connection is so special. And one of the stories I always like to tell, in this day and age, David, it's really incredible what these, you call them the arms races of college sports right now, all these big facilities being built. No matter what sport it is, you see every school is pushing the boundary right now. Well, back, I'm dating myself, back 15 years ago, we used to call it McHale High School, because all the locker rooms were all on the ground. We call it the basement level of McHale. So we all got to be around each other. There was one weight room, there was one training room, and there was only one cold tub. And you try and picture putting 10 offensive linemen in one cold tub, David, there's not a lot of room for other people. So you develop relationships with people, and you're in the weight room together. And, the Wildcat connection is strong. And I'm very fortunate and very lucky to call Kenzie my wife. She's incredible. And, Nick found Torrey, and it's just that Wildcat connection, David. And it's been documented, but there are a lot of connections between, not just athletes in general, but also, football and softball players.
Yeah, that's the one bad thing, I guess, about the expansion. And, you got now the baseball teams way out, at High Corbett Field, and football has their own facility, and then volleyball and then basketball somewhat have moved over to Richard Jefferson. That camaraderie gets lost, I think, when everybody kind of is in their own setting versus all being all together. And that was something to be said to like you mentioned, McHale High School, to have everybody together like that.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Now you see, it's just the nature of the beast right now with college sports. You got to have the next latest, greatest, and best thing, whether it's a new facility. I was laughing at when teams are starting to put barbershops inside their football facilities. I am really jealous right now of seeing some of the cafeterias that are being placed right now, because back when I was playing, back when Nick and I were playing, we got one meal a day, and now these guys are getting meals, all the time, and that's what they have to do now. That's what the sport and that's what the system has created. So you don't look back at it like, man, sometimes you really wish that, those amenities would be nice, but, just reflecting on my time with Nick as a teammate, as a friend, can't ask for anything better, with him, and what we went through together with Arizona football.
All right, Kyle, when you look back at his career at the University of Arizona, when did you see him at? I guess what game kind of stands out to you as being the best game you ever saw him play, and maybe before you became a starter or with him out there on the field?
One of the moment that's always kind of stuck in my head was actually the Territorial Cup in 2011. That's a game where he actually got hurt in, and he didn't actually finish the game. Actually, Bryson came in, but just his presence out there on the field in a rivalry game, really keeping us grounded, because it wasn't the season we wanted, but his presence out there and being able to get us in a position to where we could have, a successful opportunity to win a football game. And that's the biggest game every single year. The state of Arizona is divided on that rivalry. So his presence in that game, was really something else. But then also, really one of the other stories it's told a little bit, but not too much. His senior day, he actually, benched himself and let Bryce and Bernie get the start on his senior day. They were both seniors at the same time against Louisiana Lafayette. So him doing that is just like how could you not ask for anything more from a teammate saying, hey, I'm going to remove myself from a starting role to give the backup who Bryson, another guy that's been a great friend of mine and a great teammate helping me in my career, giving him the start at home on his senior day. So those are two moments that really stick out. They may not be the biggest performing games of his career, but just him as a player and a person, as a teammate, those really stick out with me.
Well, of course, we know that you work with us on game days, Kyle. But what has the post football life done for you? What are you doing full time here in Southern Arizona?
So I work at Raytheon. So I've been working there for a little while now. Great job. Very blessed to have that. But also, getting to step into the media side of things and working the pregame radio show, like you said, really, really enjoy that. It's a way for me to stay around the program a little bit more. Really get to offer some insights. I try to keep the radio content not just offensive line oriented, because I can spend all day talking about offensive line play, but our viewers would go down. So I got to make sure I keep some of the skill players involved, make sure we keep our viewers up. But just being around the program, I'm playing golf a lot more. Trying to get that handicap down in the single digits. Getting there, it's a work in progress. But really just enjoying life. Thankfully, I'm very fortunate to be healthy. No major injuries during my career. And just really enjoying life and enjoying our time down here in Southern Arizona during monsoon season. Heck of a storm just rolled through.
Right, yeah, it's just starting to hit us here in the central part of the city. Kyle Quinn, center, captain, 2012, joining us. You kind of led me into my next question, Kyle. How excited are you to watch this offensive line that they've put together here? Jed Fish last year at the University of Arizona, and now Brent Brennan inheriting some of these guys. It's been an interesting first 6 days of camp because it hasn't actually looked a lot like what we thought it was going to look like. There's been a lot of moving parts and moving pieces, but there's a lot of talent down there right now on that offensive line heading into 2024.
Yeah, that's one of the great things you say. Opening kickoff is just a few weeks away, David. It feels like so much has happened this offseason. We're diving into fall camp and seeing what this team is made of and what this unit up front is made of. And the headline of the group is Big Jonah at right tackle. Remember seeing him in spring ball. He looks the part. I mean, he's as big as can be. He's athletic. He's being a leader out there. So that's really encouraging to see, kind of taking the reins over from first-round pick Jordan Morgan, who, for my part, is having a heck of a time in Packers mini camps and preseason camp right now. So having him as a stalwart at right tackle is really big, but also having Baker inside at center. He's played a lot of football. He's played twice as many football games as I did in my career. So he's got that experience and that game time instinct that you really cannot coach. So having those two stalwarts is really, really interesting. And then seeing, wondering who's going to fill in these holes. I'm hearing really good things about Rhino at left tackle.
Yeah.
Being that athlete to step in, kind of fill those shoes, because left tackle, you talk about the highest paid position on the offensive line. That's it at the next level. So if Arizona football, they just got to keep working. Offensive line is the hardest position to get to gel because it's 5 guys working as one. And the first week of fall camp is the absolute worst for an offensive lineman. You're just trying to get comfortable in your own skin. And I'm also going to go on a little bit of a rant here. The first few practices are never in full pads, and that is a huge advantage to the defense. So the defensive line is always going to look better, David. So we got to remember that part, because once we get into full pads in 2 days, that's when the offensive line can kind of start to impose their will and start to wear out the defenses, and start becoming a unit and gelling as one.
All right, Kyle, you're a broadcaster now, so start working on it. Rhino Tapa'ototai.
Yep. No, I have to work on those pronunciations, David. I will be the first one to admit that.
and Kyle, I apologize. We did not have you on enough last year. We're gonna change that this year. We definitely want to lean on your expertise. So I hope that you'll be willing to come back and be a guest on our show more often this season.
Oh, absolutely, David. You've got my number, so anytime you want to talk football, please do not hesitate to give me a shout, and we'll coordinate when I can get on the show and share some insights and some analytics of the game and how the season's going. It's gonna be an exciting season. There's the hype and the excitement around Coach Brennan in this program right now with Noah leading the charge. It could be a very exciting season as we start to make a name for ourselves in the Big 12.
Kyle, we appreciate you taking the time.
Yep, thank you, David. Have a good one.
Kyle Quinn, center, captain, 2012.
Thanks to Coors Light for bringing you today's Arizona Insiders on Wildcats Radio 1290. Coors Light, official corporate sponsors of Arizona Athletics. There's nothing like game day in Arizona.
All right, we'll hear more from Nick Foles. We'll let you hear that interview he did with Mackenzie Hamilton, the team reporter last year. That'll be our Desert Diamond Casino replay coming up later in this hour. Much more straight ahead as well. We'll hear more reaction from the United States men's basketball team's victory over Serbia in Paris to advance to the Olympic championship game. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives. She'll be with us as well to tell you more about what's happening in southern Arizona. But right now, the streets are starting to get a little bit wet and crazy out there, so want to make sure you get home safely.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Busy afternoon. We've got signals malfunctioning Broadway west of Colbert Jessica at 22nd Street in Prudence. Harrison closed at the Pantano Wash due to flooding. Wires down 22nd Street and Kolb Road, backups there. Trees and debris reported in the roadway along Kolb Road near Broadway Speedway and near 22nd Street. Collision Speedway west of Greasewood at Painted Hills Road. Earlier vehicle fire eastbound on I-10 approaching Abra Valley Road and still expect slowdowns. Severe thunderstorm warning until 5:30 today. Reduced visibility, heavy rain, and flooding in some areas. 90 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Big O Tires. Big O Tires has the lowest tire price guarantee. Now through August 27th, buy 3, get 1 free on 4 select in-stock brand tires with installation purchase. See store for details or visit BigOTires.com. This sale is for a limited time and it's only at Big O Tires. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Westwood One presents Today in Women's Sports. The USA basketball team defeated Nigeria 88-74 yesterday to advance to the semifinals of Olympic competition. The Americans were led by two-time WNBA MVP Asia Wilson, who finished with 20 points and 11 rebounds in the victory. The U.S. women's program has won 59 straight Olympic matchups, and they haven't lost at the Summer Games since 1992. They will face Australia tomorrow, and with a victory, the U.S. will play for their 8th straight Olympic gold medal on Sunday. The American women's soccer team hasn't finished first at the Olympics since 2012, but that could change this weekend. In Tuesday's semifinal match, Team USA defeated Germany 1-0 thanks to star forward Sophia Smith's goal in the 95th minute. The Americans will now play for the gold medal against Brazil on Saturday. With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Olivia Harlan-Decker on Westwood One.
Retired or retiring soon? How much money do you need to live comfortably? Retirement Planners of America is here for you. Would you like to have financial peace of mind? Here's how. Step 1. Find out the amount of money you'll need to retire. Step 2. Have a plan to get there. Step 3. Make sure that plan can take advantage of market gains but protect you from market losses. Discover how to do all three with a free consultation at 800-508-6108. That's 800-508-6108.
All investments involve risk, including losses. Past performance does not guarantee future results.
What's wrong? My travel rewards card didn't earn enough miles for my vacation.
Are you crying? Are you crying because of that other credit card?
Uh-huh.
Well, switch to the Capital One Venture card. Venture lets you redeem miles on any travel purchase.
Really?
Yep, and you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every single day. The Capital One Venture card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
What makes 1290 different than any other radio station in Tucson? 1290 is the home of the Arizona Wildcats, the NFL, and the Super Bowl. Winner. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
3 reasons I ditched my old school deodorant and made the switch to Lumi Whole Body Deodorant for pits, privates, and beyond. First, Lumi is crazy effective. It controls odor in a new way and keeps me fresher longer. Second, it's a whole body deodorant that works on every nook and cranny. You know, the ones we all have. My pits, underboob, thigh folds, behind, and even feet. Use it anywhere. Third, Lumi was created by an OBGYN. I don't know about you, but knowing Lumi was formulated by an OBGYN who knows all about safety below the belt is super reassuring. Experience a new way to control odor longer that works everywhere. There's a special offer for listeners. Go to LumiDeodorant.com and use code SUPER and get 15% off your first purchase with code SUPER. Like the Lumi Starter Pack, Acidified Body Wash, or new Lumi Plus Sweat Control. That's LumeDeodorant.com, code SUPER for 15% off your first purchase. Love it or return it for free. That's LumeDeodorant.com, code SUPER to save 15% today.
Your home for in-depth conversation.
Nothing they do is by surprise. They telegraph what they want to do, and then they brag about it afterwards. It's a way to keep us at each other's throats.
The most pressing issues.
This was just a white on black crime, and you can already see the narrative starting to form in real time.
And fresh perspective.
The air marshals will not be on the airplanes because they're down at the border escorting illegal aliens to their Ubers.
America's most loved truth tellers live on Tucson's home for conservative talk. This is Freedom 1400.
Caruso's, a Tucson tradition since 1938, located on historic 4th Avenue. For 4 generations, Caruso's handmade sauce has been prepared with love by a family member, using only the best ingredients. Enjoy specialty Italian dishes like lasagna al forno, chicken tetrazzini, real Italian sausages, spectacular pizza, as well as many vegetarian options. Caruso's offers outdoor dining on their garden patio, with indoor dining also available. Open Tuesday through Sunday, with all your favorites available for takeout. For more information, call 520-624-5765 or visit their website at carusositalian.com.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rock & K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills. Enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Explore natural open space, a network of connecting trails, and a community park within the Vail School District. Visit Lennar's 2 communities in Rock & K with home savings up to $35,000 and limited time interest rate and closing cost incentives on select move-in ready homes. LiveRockandK.com. Designed by Nature, proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
The more time that passes, the more important it is to remind our nation about the heartbreak and heroism of September 11th, 2001. Join your neighbors this September 11th at the Tucson Convention Center to climb the same number of steps as the World Trade Center towers, or as many as you can, to memorialize the brave first responders who ran toward danger that day. All proceeds benefit local first responders and military charities. General donations are also accepted. Register today at 911towerchallengefoundation.org.
Wildcats Radio 1290 is everywhere. You can now hear us on our free app from the app and Google Play Store, streaming on wildcatsradio1290.com, iHeartRadio and Odyssey app, and even on 1290 AM. This is Wildcats Radio 1290. DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290. Diamondbacks download.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Let's tell you what's happening with your Diamondbacks today. The Phillies are in town for the weekend, and they'll start that series tonight up at Chase Field, coming off a 5-1 road trip for the Snakes. It will be a 7-game homestand, as the Phillies will come in for 4 this weekend, and then the Colorado Rockies will follow, and there are no off days. In fact, the Snakes do not have an off day in this schedule until next Thursday. So they obviously had the rain out Tuesday in Cleveland, but playing straight through till next week. Jordan Montgomery will be on the mound tonight for your Diamondbacks. He has struggled for the most part this season, 7-5. with a 637 earned run average. Colby Allard is the starter for the Philadelphia Phillies. I've not heard of Colby Allard. He has only 8 innings in the big leagues this season. No record, a 4.50 earned run average. The Phillies obviously led by their outstanding slugger, Kyle Schwarber, who's hitting .261 with 27 home runs and 73 runs batted in. Alec Baum also in that lineup hitting .297 on the year. Ketel Marte having a MVP season for the Arizona Diamondbacks, hitting .298. He's got 29 home runs and 80 RBIs. So the next homer for him will be his 30th of the season. The moneyline favorite tonight is Arizona at -105, and the over-under, because neither one of these pitchers is very good, is kind of high tonight at 10.5 at +120 on your Desert Diamond Casino replay scorebook, or sportsbook, I should say. So the Diamondbacks, after their win last night, or their win yesterday in Cleveland, they swept the doubleheader. They left Cleveland just 3.5 games behind the Los Angeles Dodgers. Well, what happened last night in Los Angeles? The Phillies beat the Dodgers again. So the Diamondbacks start the weekend 2.5 games, or actually, I'm sorry, there's still 3 games because they were 3.5. So they go to 3.5. San Diego, though, however, has jumped a half game ahead of the Diamondbacks now because they won again yesterday. The Padres are now 64-52. They've won 5 games in a row, so they are now 2.5 games behind the Dodgers. It is getting tight in the National League West with just 3 games now separating the Diamondbacks, the Padres, and the Dodgers. 6:40 will be first pitch at Chase Field for tonight's game. All right, we gave you your highlights a little bit earlier on the win for the United States men's basketball team over Serbia as they advance to the final at the Olympic tournament, winning 95-91, a triple-double for LeBron James, just the third person to ever have a triple-double in the Olympics since they started keeping those stats in the early 1970s. Stef Curry, 36 points. He made 9 threes after the ball game. His head coach in both the Olympics and the NBA, Arizona Wildcat grad Stef Curry, on the performance of one Stef Curry.
You know, you've seen so many of Steph's big performances, but where does this one, rank for you in his career?
It's impossible to rank Steph's performances because there have been so many of them, so many big games. But it's different playing for USA basketball than it is playing for your NBA team. You're literally playing for your country. And so it didn't surprise me at all that Steph had the game that he did. He always comes up big when he's needed the most. But it was the competitive spirit of the whole group that really stood out to me. And we needed everything because Serbia played, I thought, the perfect game. They were amazing. And we had just enough time to make the comeback and catch them at the end. But our guys were incredible. LeBron and Kevin and Book with his defense down the stretch, and Joel, the way he battled Jokic and made those big plays in the fourth quarter. What an incredible effort from our group.
That is Stef Curry after the ball game. United States knocks off Serbia. Again, LeBron James had a triple-double in this contest. He finished the game with 16 points, 12 rebounds, and 10 assists. Second triple-double he's had in the Olympics. The last was 12 years ago in 2012 against Australia when he had 11 points, 14 rebounds, and 12 assists. Braun on his performance and that of the gentleman he refers to as Stef Curry.
LeBron, you all were down by 13 to start the fourth quarter. I was near the huddle. Stef Curry told you all that you would have to fight. You've been in these situations before. What did that fight entail?
Got to get it the hard way. We was preaching at the whole fourth quarter, beating the team 3 times. And won. Listen, in the last 3 weeks, we knew it was going to be difficult. We know Serbia was going to give us everything they had. Kudos to Serbia, but we came through. Stef Curry with a vintage Stef Curry game. Joel was big time for us, and we needed it.
We'll get to Steph, but first you finished with a triple-double. What role did you know you needed to play in order to get this done?
Whatever role that the team need me to play. I understand I got to do a little bit of everything. So, Steph had it going offensively. Joel, like I said, chipped in. So it's my job to keep finding those guys, try to clean glass, and sprinkle in a couple points from time to time.
I know you and Steph were excited to go on this run together. 36 points, 9 threes. How nice is it to have him on your side for a game like this?
It was only a matter of time before he had one of these games. We can see it every day. He put too much work in not to have a game like this, and we wouldn't want it any other way. And it was the perfect timing for Steph to come out and do what he did.
One more to the ultimate goal. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
All right, that's LeBron James after the 95-90 win over Serbia at the Olympic tournament. So Saturday will be the final against the French, who knocked off Germany, the defending FIBA World Cup champions, and the United States will take on France and Victor Wembanyama for a chance to win yet another gold medal in men's basketball. 520-848-1290 is the number for you to get in on the program. Other things happening at the Olympics today.
Real quick before we do into that, it's going to be Joel Embiid versus Wembanyama and DK. They've only matched up one time. It was January 22nd of this year. Wemby had 33, 7 boards, and 2 assists. The only time we've ever matched up against Joel. Mr. Embiid had 70 points and 18 rebounds. People might remember that was right before he put himself on the IR because he had that knee issue. 70 points is what Embiid put on Wemby the last time and the only time they've ever matched up.
How was the Jokic Embiid battle today?
It was great. I mean, they went at it. Obviously, there's been a lot of talk. They've only played 8 times, DK, in their careers. 2 times a year is as how often the Nuggets and the Sixers are going to match up. But there's been a bit of a meme war going on the internet these past 4 or 5 years. Every time the two MVPs of the NBA in the last 4 years get a chance to match up, a lot of times one of them will sit out that game. So it was a good matchup, but it was really a team effort for all those guys. Wemby versus Embiid should be interesting on Saturday, though.
All right, we're joined by the third member of our program, Cricket. Cricket, we were talking about your weeds the other day, and a gentleman had chimed in and told you about that product, Preen. And I had asked him, like, if it was safe for animals, and so he got back with us on that and said that he says he has a tortoise in the backyard. And he said Preen is a chemical, so there's a potential hazard if not used properly. He said if I had dogs, which I used to, I would still use the product. He said tell Cricket once it's in the ground, dirt, rocks, everything should be fine. Just don't let your dog eat the dirt. But I guess that's common sense. You wouldn't want your dog eating the dirt, even if there was any chemicals in it, correctly?
Try and stop a dog from eating dirt. Come on. That's what they do.
My dog will eat anything. He would eat trash. He eats grass all the time. Dogs eat grass with an upset stomach. He doesn't have an upset stomach. He will eat grass like he is like a horse. He loves it. So I could maybe just keep him away until it kind of settles. I don't know.
There you go. Keep him away.
He's a garbage can. He is. He's so gross.
Yeah, I got a garbage can in my house, too.
You do?
One of our two is a garbage can, for sure.
Yeah, don't let my dog kiss you.
All right. We don't know where his mouth has been.
Exactly.
Apparently.
Nope.
For sure. All right, this is our last show of the week. We will not do a show tomorrow, so we want to make sure, though, that you know everything that is happening in Southern Arizona this weekend. So tell us about that, Cricket. What is going on? What's up weekend?
Well, a little bonus today because tonight is Thirsty Thursdays at Desert Diamond Casino in Sahuarita with entertainment, a tribute to Whitney Houston. Might be kind of fun.
All right.
Tomorrow night, it's Pop Night.
I want to dance with somebody.
Yeah, same, right? Pop Night tomorrow night with DJ Bex spinning all the pop hits, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. at Hotel Congress.
So now, didn't they do that last week? We talked about that last week too. Is that a weekly thing now?
It seems like
that
it.
Pop weekend deal?
It seems like it's happened at least like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah. Are they promoting any particular artists?
I mean, I think that it listed Madonna to Britney Spears to
so that's
Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah,
I'm forgetting someone else because I'm old.
Okay.
Also, Saturday night, cool summer nights at Arizona Sonora Desert Museum, and an event so nice I'd like to mention it twice. Saturday and Sunday, FEMA Animal Care Center, a mega adoption event, free adoptions, and extended hours Saturday and Sunday at PAC, 10 a.m. till 8 p.m. at Silver Bell and Sweetwater.
So now, what does that mean when you say free adoptions, or does it usually cost money, or so what are people saving there?
Probably about $40 to about $60.
Okay.
Like I think puppies are $60, and I think dogs are usually $40. But PAC has been waiving adoption fees for so long, just desperately trying to move some of the pets out.
Put animals into homes for sure.
But I believe it is a $20 license fee for all pets.
All right. Yeah. Well, you enjoy the day without us tomorrow, Cricket, and we will talk to you again on Monday.
All right. And from the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. It is such a busy day. We have got live wires down at 22nd Street and Kolb Road. Harrison closed at the Pantano Wash, of course, due to flooding. Signals out Wilmot south of Broadway at Park Place Drive. Broadway west of Kolb at Jessica, also at 22nd Street and Prudence, heavy backups there. Speedway west of Greasewood at Painted Hills Drive, a collision, and also reports of downed poles and wires. Speedway west of Greasewood, crash 29th and Swan, and also still backups on eastbound I-10 approaching and passing Tangerine due to that earlier 18-wheeler fire. There is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect, and it is 86 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. At Lowe's, they know how to save pros time and money. Save 20% on 1-gallon cans and 5-gallon pails of Valspar Defense or Cabot Stain because Lowe's knows pros. Valid through 8/21. Selection varies by location while supplies last. See store or Lowes.com for details.
In a world of chaos and high inflation, where savings are rare,
Just a minute, ladies and gentlemen. I think something is happening.
there's only one place that can save you up to 40% off your favorite tobacco products. Tobacco Barn. Tobacco Barn. In a quest to unlock the key to savings, Tobacco Barn embarks upon the ultimate adventure to charge no city or state sales tax because they're on the reservation, and to save up to $3 off with a coupon at tobaccobarntucson.com. This is not a joke. When savings are stolen by the evil of other high-priced tobacco stores, there's only one powerful enough to resist city and state sales taxes, plus save you up to $3 with a coupon at tobaccobarntucson.com. Tobacco Barn. Tobacco Barn. And if all else fails, we can always call upon
I'm Captain Tobacco at your service.
My hero.
Tobacco Barn, Tucson's most epic adventure in savings. Now showing at Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia.
Your home for in-depth conversation.
Nothing they do is by surprise. They telegraph what they want to do, and then they brag about it afterwards. It's a way to keep us at each other's throats.
The most pressing issues.
This was just a white on black crime, and you can already see the narrative starting to form in real time.
And fresh perspective.
The air marshals will not be on the airplanes because they're down at the border escorting illegal aliens to their Ubers.
America's most loved truth tellers live on Tucson's home for conservative talk. This is Freedom 1400.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance, making it easy to save money. When you bundle your auto policy with home, condo, or renters, you'll earn a multi-policy discount. Easy to bundle, easy to save. Visit progressive.com.
DJ on the Sports Tip, 3 to 6 weekdays.
Does Umar Ballo's decision to play for the Indiana Hoosiers change your feeling about his legacy as an Arizona Wildcats player?
Umar Ballo was about as Wildcat as it gets. Look at the smile on his face when he talks about what the McHale crowd means to him. That's real. How do you be a fan, David? That's the conversation we're having. You want to open that Pandora's box. And what does it mean to be a fan, and how do you fan? Well, that's really up to you.
Wildcats Radio 1290.
TFCU Gives supports local organizations who help those in need. We take pride in giving back and believe that we are stronger when we all pitch in to help one another. Sister Jose Women's Center is dedicated to uplifting all women in our community by providing a welcoming and safe environment for women experiencing homelessness. TFCU invites you to join us in partnering with Sister Jose Women's Center. Learn more about Sister Jose at www.sisterjose.org.
Are you ready to smell better naked? I'm Dr. Shannon Klingman, the OBGYN creator of Lumi, the whole body deodorant that's clinically proven to control odor for 72 hours on pits, feet, privates, and beyond. It's pH optimized to safely and effectively control odor anywhere you have it, but wish you didn't. Plus, it's proven to work better than a shower with soap alone. Whether you shower twice a day or 3 times a week, Lumi works better. And who doesn't want zero body odor? With over 200,000 5-star reviews, I'm so sure you're going to love it, or you can return it for free.
There's a special offer for listeners. Use code BETTER and get 15% off your first purchase with code BETTER, like the Lumi Starter Pack, Acidified Body Wash, or new Lumi Plus Sweat Control. That's LUME Deodorant.com, code BETTER for 15% off your first purchase. Love it or return it for free. That's LUME Deodorant.com, code BETTER to save 15% today.
This is Zach Gelb with the Sports Minute. Drake May will make his Patriots debut tonight in the preseason, but the expectation is that May will start the regular season on the bench. The Patriots recently were willing to offer Brandon Ayuk a contract worth $32 million a year, but the wide receiver had no interest in joining New England. The Pats used to be in the NFL penthouse, but now they reside in the outhouse. And the only way that New England can quickly become an attractive destination again is if Drake May is all that and then some whenever he gets his chance to start. I'm Zach Gelb.
At Vanguard, you're more than just an investor, you're an owner. So whether you're planning for retirement or trying to save up for your next big adventure, Vanguard will work alongside you to set personalized investment goals. That's the value of ownership. All investing is subject to risk. Vanguard is owned by its funds, which are owned by Vanguard's fund shareholder clients. Vanguard Marketing Corporation, distributor.
You've got to watch your NFL team every Sunday, and Verizon's got you covered for all your team's out-of-market games every Sunday afternoon. Come on! From kickoff to sign-off, from first downs and touchdowns
That's right.
to turnovers, no, and overturned plays.
After review, the pass was incomplete.
Nice! Let's go! This season, win every Sunday with Verizon. Get a great deal on NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV and a new phone. Excludes digital-only games. Terms and embargoes apply.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. Final chance for you to get in on this show for this week. Again, no show tomorrow. We'll be back with you on Monday. JR Sport Brief will be the gentleman that will take you through the show tomorrow. So be sure to listen to JR. He's a pretty funny guy, does a really good show, and so we're glad to have him here when we can't be here with you. So listen to tomorrow between 3 and 7 to JR Sport Brief. All right, more Olympics to tell you about. The United States picked up a gold medal in the 110-meter hurdles tonight as Grant Holloway wins it for the United States with a time of 12.99. And it was a pretty exciting 200-meter event as well, as Noel Lyles was going for the double. He won the 100. Could he win the 200?
40 years since the last American did the double. Carl Lewis in 84. Can Noah Lyles do it?
Set.
Final of the men's 200 is away.
Bernard responded very well to the gun. He's gotten out well, but now here comes Noah Lyles.
Lyles in the middle of the track. Tobogo is going with Bernard. Noah Lyles said this is where he gets to show his speed, his top-end speed. There's an answer. Tobogo.
Noel Lyles did not get the double, as he would finish third and have to settle for the bronze. And then it came out afterwards that he ran the race after having tested positive for COVID-19. So maybe a feat there to be able to still go out and perform at that level when you're not feeling at your best. So quick and speedy recovery hopes to Noah Lyles. Another big race was anticipated today. This is going to be one that you'll definitely want to watch tonight on the prime time, the 400-meter hurdles. And it was a battle between American and world record holders Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone, Anna Cockrell, a Pac-12 runner out of this University of Southern California, and the fabulous runner from the Netherlands, Femke Bol.
It's been 748 days since these women raced. This is the race of the night. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone has Femke Bol in her sight. And Otto, like you mentioned, she's going to be fast down the backstretch, but they are close. You can tell who's in the lead by who goes over the hurdle first. And Sydney is marginally in front of Femke Bol.
Yeah, she's making up the stagger, but Femke Bol is not done with what she has to say yet. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone on the far turn, and she's trying to get past Bol. Jasmine Jones here in the foreground. Coming out of the final turn, Sydney McLaughlin is clearly ahead of Femke Bol. I'm going to give you a time to watch. 50.65 is the existing world record. Nobody has ever won 2 gold medals in this event, let alone back-to-back. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone. It's a world record.
Another world record. She is just simply fabulous, to say the least. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone, who did it 3 years ago in Tokyo, does it again in Paris and in style. She's just, I mean, again, we have not seen a runner in the 400-meter hurdles like her. And it's just been a pleasure to kind of watch her develop from 16 years old in her first Olympics in 2016 to where she is now, being able to really lay down the hammer on the world and win her second gold medal.
Real quick, DK, I know we're so American-centric, we're so Southern Arizona-centric, as we should be, and as we always will be. I wanted to go back really quick to that 200 meter. Noah Lyles gets all the headlines, and Noah Lyles obviously talking about world champion stuff and first guy. Can he be the first guy since Carl Lewis? Mr. Tobogo from Botswana. That's the first gold that country's ever won in any sport.
Yeah,
ever. So I mean, we would love to see all the American athletes. But to me, I love stories like that. I love stories about the guy nobody ever expected. Right? I mean, we all want to see the greats. We all want to see Michael Phelps with his 23 golds around his neck or whatever. Watch greatness. But, slipping through the cracks sometimes are those stories about those, maybe their athletic. How much money do you think Botswana puts towards their athletics department relative to the United States? So congrats to him for winning their first ever gold medal in any Olympic sport.
Very similar to the young lady who won the 100 meters as well. That's a country that had never won a gold medal. So a lot of these smaller countries in the Caribbean and other places are producing world-class athletes, and it is really, really good to see for sure. All right, let's give you your Desert Diamond Casino replay for today.
And now, the best thing you will hear all day.
Hachi-machi!
It's time for the Wildcat Radio Replay. In case you missed this earlier in the day, we now bring you the best of 1290. It's made possible by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
Nick Foles retires after 11 years in the National Football League. He returned to Tucson last year as an honorary captain for Arizona football and chatted with Wildcats team reporter Mackenzie. Oh, gosh, just that quick. I forgot her name. Mackenzie Hamilton. Thank you. Mackenzie Hamilton about being back on campus for the first time in 11 years.
As we were driving up to campus, I think the emotions start coming back. And then, when we park in the garage and, the first thing I think of when I see the garage is I think of sprints. I think of uphill sprints with weighted vests with Coach Ed, who is our strength coach here, and which are great memories, ironically, crazy enough. And then you go into the stadium, you see the stadium, and there's just so many great memories here. Tori playing volleyball here, me playing football, just the journey of being a student athlete, and just to see the advancement of the athletic program and the student athletes and where they get to go is just so cool.
You had so many phenomenal performances here in Arizona Stadium. As you take the field tonight, what memory do you think is going to hit you first?
I think it's just a memory of, being with your teammates. But the one game that I remember is the Iowa game when they were one of the top teams in the country. And, we had a 2-minute drive to win the game. And, Dave Roberts, who's here today, we went on the tour together. He made a huge play on the 2-minute drive, double move right down the middle of the field, just totally stretched out and made a huge play that helped us win that game. And that's just such a special moment for me. I'm in the journey. I think it was my junior year, but there's a lot of them in this stadium.
As you were told about being an honorary captain, what did that mean to you?
It's so neat to come back. I know that the staff right now is trying to really just reach out to us ex-players. That's what the program's about. It's about the current players, the ex-players, and just bringing everyone together. And I think just to be asked to be honorary captain, to be here, to go out on the field, to go through the Wildcat Walk, to see the fans, is really a great honor. I mean, my wife and I love Arizona. We're really proud to, wear the A, and, even in my NFL career in the locker rooms and even the Super Bowl, having a big thing of Arizona in my locker, like a big swag. I made sure everyone saw it. Just being here is a great honor.
How did your time as a Wildcat prepare you for the NFL?
I think just coming here, just being a student athlete, I mean, you have to be so responsible, so disciplined, and Arizona really provided so many great opportunities for me to get my degree, the work ethic it took, the great coaches I had, really I think too, our strength coach, our strength program, I mean, that Coach Ed, who's now at Kentucky, just the discipline, and he pushed us harder than we ever thought possible. And then right after that, you go to class, and you're like wobbling to class because your legs are giving out, but and then you go out there and you play. It really prepared me for getting to the NFL and being ready. And my quarterback coach at the time here was Frank Selfo, and he was the first person that was really like, hey, I coached 2 first-round quarterbacks. Like, you're going to have that opportunity to play in the NFL. And it really made me believe it was possible. And lo and behold, like 11 years later, it's been quite the journey.
I know our Wildcat family is so excited to see you and your family back here tonight. What are you guys most excited to see?
I think I'm just excited to see the fans, to see the environment. I'm not the one running out of the tunnel right now. Playing football for so long, being 34 and having such an amazing journey of ups and downs and everything in between, I'm really just excited to watch these guys go out there and play. I know they've been working hard in training camp. I know Coach Fish has really been trying to, create his own culture here the last several years, and it takes time. It takes getting the players. It takes tweaking the facility, the fan base believing. So I'm excited to see the fan base, and I'm excited to see what Arizona has going. I know all the alumni are excited to see them, and just watch a game. Watch these guys go enjoy it. I mean, you only get to play college football for so long. It's such a blessing to be able to, especially at a great school like Arizona. So I just want to see those guys go out there, let loose, and have fun.
That was the Wildcat Radio Replay with the best of the best from 1290. It's brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
All right, I'll give you two more numbers before we get out of here. Consecutive games throwing a touchdown pass at Arizona. Nick Foles at the top of that list, 17. He threw TD passes in all 11 games of his senior year in 2011. And we mentioned that game against Andrew Luck where the two combined for 838 yards. That wasn't even the best combined game between Nick Foles and another quarterback. 2 years later, he and Matt Barkley of USC combined for 893 yards. Nick Foles threw for 425. Matt Barkley threw for 468. That is the third most of any two quarterbacks in a game involving Arizona football. Nick Foles, enjoy your retirement because you have definitely deserved it for sure.
Enjoy the tantrums.
Exactly. Enjoy the tantrums and learn how to make kids calm again, because I'm sure you're probably pretty good at that as well. All right, thanks to Kyle Quinn for joining us. Again, no show tomorrow. We'll be back on Monday for our girl cricket and JW Madden. My name is David Kelly. That's our time for tonight. Thank you very much for your time. One more time. Philly, Philly.
Right here. You want Philly, Philly?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Foles in the gun. Clement to his right.
Easy.
Foles moves to the right. It goes directly to Clement. Clement reverses it, and the pass goes into the end zone. And it is a touchdown by Nick Foles.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together, sponsored by Park Place Mall. Speedway west of Greasewood is blocked off. Speedway west of Greasewood closed due to downed poles and wires. Live wires down at 22nd Street and Kolb Road. Expect restrictions there. Backups as well. Harrison closed at the Pantano Wash. Signals out. Wilmot south of Broadway at Park Place Drive. Broadway west of Kolb at Jessica, also 22nd and Prudence. Collisions 29th and Swan, also Houghton north of Escalante. Still backups on eastbound I-10 approaching and passing Tangerine due to an earlier 18-wheeler fire. And there is a flash flood watch in effect until 7:30 tonight and 85 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. With Staples Hot Deals, you'll find super low prices on hundreds of items for back to school, including tech. Right now, get up to $300 off select PCs at Staples. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program. Offer ends 8/24. Save big on back to school at Staples.
Escape the ordinary and indulge in a world of excitement at Park Place Mall. Discover endless possibilities with over 100 stores, restaurants, and entertainment options. Join them for the monthly Kids Club, Yappy Hour, and seasonal events. From fashion to food, it's all at Park Place Mall, where you belong.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
whenever I want? Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. J.D. Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number Limited Edition Smart Bed. Limited time. For J.D. Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up for our 5th grade class recital, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-stress performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through December 28th, Castrol Edge and Edge High Mileage Motor Oil are on rollback at Walmart.
Claim based on sequence 9 test under high-load conditions versus API SP test limits.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2024 Summer Games. Team USA men's basketball had to work for a spot in the gold medal game. Steve Futterman has more.
The U.S. trailed most of the game. In fact, entering the final 10-minute period, the Americans were behind by 13 points, but that's when the U.S. went to work, outscoring Serbia by 17 to win the game 95-91. Stef Curry, the top scorer with 36 points. The U.S. will now play France for the gold medal.
3 gold medals for the U.S. at Stade de France tonight. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone repeating as Olympic champ in the women's 400-meter hurdles. She set a world record. Grant Holloway wins the men's 110-meter hurdles. And Tara Davis-Woodall rockets to gold in the women's long jump. That brings Team USA to 30 gold medals in Paris, 1 more than second-place China. With this Summer Games update, I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
Total Wireless is made to totally keep up with you. We now have unlimited data that never slows you down. Covered by the Verizon 5G network. And for less than $30 a month,